Hi everyone! Welcome back to Wonky Role Playing. We're all very excited to be here, especially Viv, chewing on their things. Okay,
No.
well, welcome back. If this is your first time with us, then welcome along. I hope you enjoy the show. We are here to play Pathfinder. We are here to play something that once met Pathfinder's famous adventure path, Rise of the Runelords. In a dark alleyway and stole its lunch or something.
He got punched for being a Nazi.
Yeah, the metaphor kind of got away with me. If you are new here, then I'm Bethan. I'm the GM. Hello, I will be running this game or attempting to, or pretending I know what I'm doing. While the players do things I wasn't expecting them to do, which seems to make up 90% of role playing. Today with us we have our normal crew with us. We have Vivian playing Mox Wordspitter, our Morrow Bard. We have I'm going to be pointing at where they are for me, which is totally wrong for you guys, so I'm going to stop doing that. We have Rory playing Snitch Oscrot, our Ratfolk Rogue. We have Kat playing Nell, our Ifrit Magus, and we have Nick playing Huron, our Dwarven Gunslinger, which is a joke I make every single week, that he has no guns.
He's absolutely a gunslinger.
No
Definitely
guns and
a
no
gunslinger.
slings.
Yes.
He's a dwarf, though.
Actually, yeah, definitely a dwarf. The crew, the so-called heroes of Sandpoint, have had a very adventurous couple of days. They have learned many things about themselves and each other, and about the people of Sandpoint, and currently are fixated on one Ray Hosk, who is the local stablemaster, who is a confirmed racist and possibly also a serial killer. They are not sure. So, since I didn't do this last week, I would like to apologize.
We're pretty sure.
I would like to apologize if any of this fantasy racism is hitting too close to home on actual racism, but rest assured, I am fairly certain that this racist is going to get what he deserves. So, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be a legal form of punishment or if he's going to have to be murdered.
Strung up by the ghoulies.
But they are very much anti-him. So there will be no we don't stand for racisms. Yes, on this channel.
None of your fancy city racisms over here.
I realized
Huron is well aware of his unconscious bias, but he's not racist.
I realized that last week things did get a bit heated when they met an actual victim of said racism. And
roars out, even when you can't see them.
And Mox had to have a bit of a sing. And Viv, you might need to mess with your sound levels again.
Oh God, why? Why is everything?
Your mic doesn't like you shouting for some reason. It expects you to be reserved and modest in all things. And
It needs to shut up. Shut the hell its mouth.
So, last week we left off on the party being in the garrison, which is the headquarters of the Town Watch, of which they are members. They are all deputies of the Town Watch. Having asked the young Ichiro Kaijutsu, who appears to work as something as a receptionist here, to go and find out for them whether or not Hosk had ever reported that his house had been broken into, or his stables rather, had been broken into by quote-unquote greenskins during the raid 2 days ago. Because if he didn't, then in fact, whether he did or did not, they wish to know what happened to the bodies of those people who broke in, as this may be a turning point in their investigation. However, while they were waiting for Ichiro to come back, they also met Jubrail Visky, who is the local godfather of the mob, basically. At him and his very fine ass, as I have been reminded by at least one member of this group when I was like, does anyone remember what's going on? And at least one person mentioned Jubrail's fine ass.
Was me.
So it's very important.
I'll always remember
There was
that.
a man and there was an ass. I'm
Yep.
not sure of the relevance.
Because I want to get down with the thickness.
I believe at least one party member had in-character design upon I'm sure Nick will come back. Nick? Oh, there you are.
It was a reference to the joke.
Yeah, I figured that you were just leaving in disgust and that you would come back.
He would
Yes, at least-
mess up poor cat's work.
I was just worried that his camera died.
I
I'd be
think that at
pissed. This
least
camera was expensive.
at least one person in character has designs upon Jibrail.
I mean, in that I think I can use him.
I didn't say the nature of said designs. I just said you had designs.
It's plan B. If we can't nail him for this crime, then I'm gonna get rid of his protection.
Then you're gonna nail him anyway.
It should be noted
And then
that...
just actually nail him.
No,
Yeah.
I meant
Do
if we
something.
can't nail Hosk, then I'm gonna
then
get rid
you
of
will
his
get rid of
Zarni
his
protection.
because you believe he is connected to the Zarni, who are the local mafia.
Yep, and if the local mafia like me more than they like Hosk, which really shouldn't be hard, then I can get rid of his protection.
So, thank you all for joining us today, everyone in the chat, and anyone watching this on YouTube or on Watchback or whatever they're called when you
VODs.
watch what
VODs.
VODs.
I don't know why.
Video on demand.
There we go.
Oh right, okay, yeah, cool. Anyone who's watching us, hello, welcome. This is the setup. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you do know anything about this plot, because again, it's mostly based on Rise of the Runelords, please do not mention it in the chat. That is very important. Because the players do not know anything further than they have played. So yes.
And you may not know as much as you think because it's been very heavily...
Shenanigans have been altered because this was written in 2007, you guys. Is it old?
Or D&D.
Yes, it was written for D&D originally, so this is written for a different system. Okay, so
More different setting than system.
true. So you are in the garrison, and Ichiro has just come back and informed you of the name of the man, or rather the status of the man who just left, and poor Mox had to have a lot of things about wealth and importance explained to them. What are you? I believe somebody was helping Ichiro pick up all of his books.
I think both of
Mox
us.
his books in surprise. Yes.
I think Mox and I were both helping.
Yeah.
Right. So jumping back into there. Right. Thank you. I found it's a bit hard to go through things. You wanted to know about Hosk and the stables, the squash stables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the break-in he said. He had
Aye.
during the raid.
I couldn't. I'm sorry it took me so long, but I couldn't find anything about a break-in in the stables. I found there was a lot of activity up there, and some people have filed claims for damages. And he starts flipping through one of the books he's just put on his little desk.
But nothing with Hosk.
But there doesn't seem to be anything with Hosk. He claimed for one damaged cart, but he'd lent that to some people for the festival, and it seems like it got burnt. But he doesn't seem to have said anything else. I had a look through, but there doesn't. It's still a bit jumbled. It's only been a couple of days, so people could still come forward. But that's all I have.
Could it be misplaced or?
He might
I'm
just
sure
be
you're
busy.
trying your best. And...
We're looking quite specifically for him to have proffered corpses.
Oh.
Which we believe he created.
That would be this. Right, from the raid in self-defense. I see.
Yes, exactly.
Closes the first book, plonks another book on top of it, starts flipping through those pages. That would be. I brought this one just in case. This is the record of all the deaths that we had and the corpses that we had to. It doesn't say any of them were handed in by Hosk. Would he have handed them to somebody else first, perhaps?
He shouldn't have.
Yeah, probably. But
Kind of looks between Nell and Huron.
We're investigating. We each have different theories,
Right,
and we're
of course.
investigating
Sorry,
which one is
investigating.
the different avenues of investigation.
My apologies, deputies. I will look at this. It seems. The last lot of bodies that was brought in was, you brought in the last lot of bodies. Aside from one goblin dog
Oh yes,
that seems to have been brought in by somebody else.
it was hiding
Where?
in and floorboards.
Oh!
Which is why, if Hosk says there were goblins in his stables, and now there's no goblins, but there's also no bodies, they could be hiding in the stables. And so we need to make sure that he is safe.
I see. That makes sense.
I will
That
happily roll bluff, by the way.
Feel free to roll bluff. I should probably get my dice to hand.
That is 26.
No, yeah, no. Ishiro doesn't question you.
In your opinion,
Hmm?
would there be anyone else who he would give these bodies to if he had them on his hands?
Well, nobody who's handed in bodies.
None of the Zoni handed in bodies.
I doubt they keep records of who exactly they suspect to be in certain organizations. That would be unwise.
Not written down.
Fine ass hand any bodies in.
Precisely.
But his name was Visky.
It is
Or something, aye.
Ichiro looks at Nell and the eye and goes, "It is disconcertingly fine."
It's not fair.
It's really not.
Maybe it's where he keeps his secrets. That's why it's so big.
Can we stop talking about the man's arse?
Ichiro is not nodding contemplatively and then looks at Nell.
Or if you
Would prefer that, but even better would be the matter at hand.
Right. Yes. Sorry.
Nell just looks amused.
The only, well, it looks like Pillbug sent in a couple.
Pillbug being.
Well, that's his nickname. He's one of the alchemists in town. He runs the pantry,
Oh,
Pillbug's pantry.
yes.
He seems to have handed in a couple, and he has friends who may have particularly fine asses.
Was there anything of note about those bodies?
Badly burned.
Alchemist, that tracks.
I mean, yeah, my guess would have been acid of some description. So.
Right.
Well, I think it's time to warn Mr. Hosk that he might have some goblins hiding in his stables.
I mean, I doubt he's checked his hayloft. It's a good place for raiders of any kind to hide, is a hayloft.
Very good point.
Well, you have the backing of what little evidence, little records I can give you. But yeah, it doesn't seem like he's.
He has
mentioned
not,
it.
having been raving about stopping an assault for the last couple of days, not having brought forward the bodies of said assault, would
And
seem
not
to be
having-
suspicious to me.
Not having reported said assault.
That
It's
as
very
well.
concerning because we must protect the safety of all our citizens, and so we shall take a report from him at the stables because he's a very busy man and maybe he just hasn't had time.
Giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you should go and talk to him about spreading rumors. If, for
As
example,
well.
the man were to have not been attacked but be telling everyone that he was, then that's not useful to further investigations.
You're very right. See, we might be the deputies, but you have the wisdom, the knowledge, working in this
Thanks.
town.
We
Well, you know.
appreciate the help.
I do my best. Good luck, deputies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so, I presume you are heading to the stables.
Oh yes, yes we
Awesome.
are.
My brain's weird. It's got the Bill theme tune in my head.
I got just the Law and Order ding ding.
I was going to say I've got one of the Law and Order theme tunes stuck in my head as well, so good. Glad that we all seem to be on the same page, despite you not actually being police.
I've got my bluff rolling dice ready. as I'll be very polite and very sincere.
I've got my sense motive dice ready
to
to be able to call him out on his bullshit. No, I'm not going to check you. I don't care if you're lying.
It'll just be in the atmosphere. Be like, oh, Husk is also lying, but Mock's whole voice is coming out of that man.
He lies quite a lot.
Did you know the sense motive is an area of effect? I mean,
It's a template.
So.
It's a breath weapon.
Weird buzzing.
That was
A noise.
a weird noise.
Feedback.
Ooh,
Something.
that was unfun.
Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Sorry for that, everyone. We are equally affected, or possibly more affected if you didn't hear it. Right, so I will remind you, since it's been a week, and for your characters it's been like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that you also have hired somebody to check out some footprints for you.
Yes, we have.
It's good. So you are meeting them at about 3 o'clock.
What time is it now?
We've still got a
Midday-ish.
couple of hours.
Okay, we're fine.
You've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I deliberately gave us a few hours.
Because there was some talk of possibly just going to the dragon and eating some food, if you had time, depending on what happens here.
Okay.
I may have been the only one suggesting that, but that's because I like to remind you that your characters need to eat sometimes.
Our watch has just informed me that I'm streaming. Cheers, mate.
A little bit late off the bat. All right, so you're heading back to the stables, where you find, as you usually do when you arrive in the stables, poor Balin, the stablemaster's apprentice, the stable hand. You're not entirely sure what his position here is, but he is doing the sweeping, which is what he seems to do with most of his life. And he just freezes when you open the door.
It's pretty standard stableman
Hi, Balin.
activity.
Hi.
Aye.
Got a question.
Uh-huh.
The night of the raid, were you here or were you elsewhere?
I went to go and help my dad
Okay,
down at the docks.
that's fine. Just wanted to know where you were.
No, I wasn't here. I don't know what happened, if anything happened.
I've been hearing stuff.
Well, you know, boss talks, which is a perfectly normal thing for bosses to do.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Can you in any way confirm his tales of having been attacked here?
Can't hear you, Viv. Whoop.
I think we may have discovered the source of the feedback.
Probably. In that case, I shall pause a moment and do a little waiting dance. My waiting dance. Hope everyone appreciates my impeccable seat dancing.
I'm trying to figure out if we want to get this kid out of here before we start poking Hosk with a stick.
Do you want to make me a... It would either be a perception or a sense motive, I imagine. So
Let the sense motive fiend do it.
They're both the same for me.
Yeah, let Huron do it because he'll actually get numbers, unlike me.
I almost said insight and then remembered the system doesn't have that.
No.
Either way, a 20.
You're pretty sure the moment you started talking about the stories that Hosk has been telling, that Balin got very frightened. He seems to not be wanting to say things that you suspect that may get him into trouble.
When was the last time you had a break, Balin?
Haven't had one yet today.
Go take it.
Should probably go for lunch.
Yep, go take it.
Aye.
I'm just gonna lock the horses
Aye.
in.
Mm-hmm.
Goes around and just sort of locks the horses in, and you hear a thumping from the stall where Starlight is. The very grumpy pony that you met previously. And then he just goes, I'll be back in like half an hour or so. Don't touch anything. You shouldn't be touching your deputies. That's fine. You'll be fine. And then leaves promptly, still holding the broom. has not let go of their broom.
One of
You're
us
standing.
should perhaps have a chat with him at a later date.
Yeah.
Because he was very well. We should have a chat with him at a later date.
Yeah. Is there where's the door that Hosk usually leans against?
It's on the back wall. It's kind of, there's a line of stalls, and then there's kind of a gap, and where there should be another stall is like a little corridory bit that leads to a door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just against the back wall. You're not sure where it goes.
I'm gonna knock on it.
Yeah, there is a grumbling
He'll not
noise.
be standing there sort of with just his arms sort of kind of casually behind his back, just sort of standing.
There was a moment of pause, and then a grumbling noise, and then the sound of locks. Was that you, Viv?
Yes, is that us back?
Yes.
Yay,
Yes.
you're back.
Excellent.
I heard a strange noise and thought, oh, it's the return of Vivian.
I think I worked out what the problem was. It was picking up with the different. Why is it peaking as well? I think it was coming up on my webcam mic. Is that it was going into there automatically instead of my microphone? I was wondering when I was listening. I was like, "This sounds like real shoddy audio. What's going on?" I don't know if it's that this bad. I swear.
It's fine. We're just having a tag team of technical issues today,
Yeah,
folks. We've got Vivian back, but we've lost Nick to a phone. So
It's always a riot with us.
no, never boring here.
Oh no! It seems things have got a little wonky. Doop 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 boop.
Oh, they said it.
We said the name. Okay, so
Everyone drink. Not necessarily alcoholic though. In fact, none of it. None of it should be. Drinking's bad for you.
weirdly obedient, all of us there.
Just all of us immediately.
All like, oh, drink, okay. So
You say weirdly, I say precisely as expected.
I'm in charge here. Hosk opens
Yeah,
the
you
door.
are, honey. Yeah.
Hosk opens the door, looking very, very grumpy, and just goes, "What? Oh,
Hello, Mr. Hosk.
you're not Balin."
No, Balin said that he was going for lunch and asked me to pass that on to you.
Of course he did.
Yes, we've been hearing some troubling reports about you coming under attack during the night of the raid.
Yes,
Oh?
and we'd like to take a report from you.
Yes, because it seems you
All right.
didn't make one before.
Guess so. That makes. Yes, I did not make one before.
Would
Suppose
you be
you'll be
willing to
wanting
make one
to-
now?
Suppose you'll be wanting to come in and sit down.
If you're willing to have us, we can do it right here if you'd prefer.
It'll be easier for me. I get to keep an eye on the horses, make sure no one breaks in while I'm talking to you fine deputies.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to know?
Mox will take out like some of their writing
Yeah.
kit. Just be like, okay, it's for to ask you a few questions.
If you could tell us what happened exactly, in your own words.
On the night of the raid, in relations to a possible break-in. That's what we're investigating. So about that.
Well, I was just about to lock up and go down to see the festival. Knew I was late, so I was in a bit of a hurry. And then some raiders came through the front window.
Could you describe these raiders for me, please?
About 3 foot high,
Okay.
green.
Mm-hmm.
Any noticeable features, tattoos, scars, piercings?
Not really.
How many
Mostly
of
I
them?
was 3.
3?
Mostly I was focusing on the rather large blades
Ah, yes. Mm-hmm.
and the crazed expressions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That must have been
looking-
very scary.
Terrifying.
Very sorry to hear that, Mr. Hosk.
Ah, I naturally assumed they were going after the horses.
Why naturally?
Why else would someone break into a stables?
Ah, to steal the horses, right. Right, okay, write that down, Mox.
Stealing horses.
So I chased them off.
You chased them off.
Boarded up the window. He's nodding at a window that's behind you that from the outside looks as if it had shutters over it, but from the inside you can see is boarded.
Right, so you chased them off, boarded the window.
Yep.
Anything else happen that night of note?
I decided to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Some prick tried to set fire to the roof, but put that out.
Would you like to claim any damages on that roof?
Can I do that?
If it was part of the raid, then yes.
Yeah, I guess so then.
Presumably there was no harm brought to your horses or anything else in the initial attack?
No, I'm fairly sure Starlight kicked the living daylights out of one of them, but they left pretty quickly.
Good horse. Starlight.
That's good. Do you mind awfully if we have a quick look through the stables and possibly check your loft? There was a recent incident where there was a goblin dog hiding in someone's house, and there was nearly a very nasty incident.
Hiding in someone's house.
In the crawl space. So imagine somewhere like this.
Since you had an incident, we'd just like to check for anything
I hadn't
squirreled
thought
away.
of that. Yeah, I mean, they probably have shown themselves by now, probably, right?
It's hard to tell. It's just for your safety, sir, if you don't mind.
Can search the stables all you like.
Certainly.
Is there anywhere we should know about, I say like crawl spaces, cupboards?
Do you have a loft? Do you have like a basement?
There's
or
a
anything
hayloft,
like that?
yeah.
In the
There.
stables specifically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ladder at the far end you can get up there.
Great, thank you.
Keep hay in it, mostly. Tack, sometimes.
Well, we'll just go if you want to accompany us. Obviously, it's your place.
I'll just check on the horses, make sure Balin remembered to feed them all before he fed his own fat ass.
Make no comment. Go to the stables.
I should be like, does he have a fat ass? I think he's a fat ass. Visky has a fat ass.
Balin's quite thick, but then he is a Morrow, so, that's the thing. A lot of Morrows are chunky. Got all that muscle.
He's got that chunk.
Mm-hmm. So, he seems like he's gonna just check on the horses, so you have free reign
Yeah.
to go around the stables. I can always tell when I'm deliberately making a pun because there's a pause when I realize I'm making a pun, like partway through the sentence. I'm like,
It's preparing to laugh at your own joke, then laughing at own joke.
realizing I'm a fucking genius. Yes, so I imagine there'll be more questioning when your expert at questioning returns from wherever Huron has vanished to.
We'll just search the place, I guess.
Sure. That will involve your favorite roll, Cat. Time
Snitch,
for
you've got
perception
perception, right? Snitch, save us.
Perception check.
You
Perception
can
check.
flush out the goblin dog. You can flush out the.
Just to check, you're asking me just to take this place apart, basically.
I am not asking you to do anything.
I was talking to Nell.
Good. Nell, how do you respond to Snitch's question?
Well,
Which I assume is in character.
look,
I mean,
just
that's 22. So if there are any needles in this haystack, I found it.
it's much better than my 9. I get what I roll.
And I imagine that much like these stables, Hosk is also full of horse shit.
I don't know. That would have involved a sense motive check at some point. Which none of you rolled.
The sense motive pot was not here.
I know, that's why I
Not
said
so much
more
sense
questioning.
motive, I just don't believe he chased away three
Yeah, no, I do not believe that.
hypnotized
he
Please.
was.
drugged attackers.
Goblins. One of those we know for a fact were drugged to keep attacking.
Yep, they wouldn't have run away.
And you know, there's the sort of mixed nature of our attackers, and it just happened to be three goblins that attacked him.
Nell's totally fine with him having lied to them about that, because that just means that we've also got him for lying to officers of the law.
I kind of love the fact that you're just like, we're not going to roll a sense motive because we're just all assuming he's lying.
A little bit. Huron would have if Huron was here.
Huron's outside talking to Balin. It's fine.
It's less about the sense motive though. It's more about what he's saying is just not plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't need to roll to know that. Right. So I'm. Fuck.
I mean, if that's what you want to do at the stable.
No. I'm
Roll
gonna be.
in the hay.
It is something of a cliche.
I mean, the lawful member of our party is not here right now. We could take advantage of this and just
No.
fucking knife him. Oh god,
It's
no,
like-
he's back.
Oh no, he's back! Quick, everyone pretend to be lawful.
I'm here. I don't
No
have my head
seduction or murder was going to happen when you were
fine.
gone. Not at all.
Everybody
Oh,
here,
phone calls.
Everybody here is
Standing
definitely
can of gasoline
lawful.
He was dousing the place with.
nobody was threatening to murder him while you were gone.
We actually weren't. But
They weren't. They were talking about searching the hayloft and presumably the stables.
Can you catch Huron up on what he's told us?
Huron, for the sake of ease, you had a chat with Balin outside. What do you want to have chatted with Balin about?
So I'll just be like walking him, because I actually had that's kind of what I planned on doing when we were
Cool.
saying you should go for lunch. I was gonna be like, yeah, come with me. We'll
Okay.
go down. We'll have some food and a chat.
Are you planning on
need a
staying
bite.
away while everyone else searches the place?
That wasn't his original plan coming in there, but
You can.
seeing how the kid reacted,
Mm.
he wants to speak to the kid because
Okay,
he definitely knows something.
In that case, Huron has not returned yet, but may before
That's
the
fine.
end of your searching. So I'm bearing in mind the searching numbers that you got, but I will go to Huron. Huron, you and Balin are having a nice walk. Balin looks very worried, and approximately when you get across the sort of open square that's in front of the stables, he seems to realize that he's still holding the broom. Oh, I guess this is coming with me then.
I'll just stick it on the wall there. You can get it on the way back.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna steal it. I could see that you're obviously uncomfortable.
Well,
I'm not.
yeah.
It can't be easy working for a being like that.
You didn't call him a person.
Mostly that's because Nick couldn't remember what race he was.
He's human.
Yeah.
The most racist of races.
Humans are number one.
We don't want.
For a slight retcon then for a man like that.
Well, he's he's pretty hard to work for. Never like raised a hand to me or anything. Nothing like that.
He's not that daft.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he knows I could floor him. So,
That as well.
and the fact that I have 5 older brothers who all work on fishing boats.
You've got yourself well looked after then.
Yep.
I think rather the issue is that so does he.
Maybe.
We are aware of certain associations that he is said to have.
He has some friends in shady places, and I do not know anything about them because I'm not allowed to know anything about them.
Aye.
And I am not there when they come. And if I am, I do not see anything.
Like, I understand if you don't want to tell me anything. I do. But anything that you can tell me will help. Me and my companions are looking to stop him from doing what it is that he does. We have positive suspicion on him being a serial killer at this point. but for some reason he is still protected by this other element.
I worked really hard for this job.
Hmm.
Like, everyone in my family has worked the docks and the fishing boats, and they always have. And I really wanted to work with horses, and I can't afford to lose this job because it's the only stables in town. You know, I'd have to go to Magnamar.
I'll put it this way: if Hosk was to be removed, another stablemaster would need to be found. Said stablemaster would still need a stable hand. The need for horses and a stable does not go away with him.
So when you say you want to deal with him, you mean jail?
If I can make something stick, aye.
And
That's what I want.
You don't care that his friends are probably going to get very annoyed about that?
I absolutely do not.
What if his friends got annoyed at me?
Then I would have to put myself between you and his friends.
You'll be wanting this then. Takes the necklace off. It has a key dangling off it.
Good man.
And I don't know if it helps, but technically I live there.
Right, okay.
So, you know, I'm not really sure of the law. I didn't really do much book learning and shit, but
Not the
if I let you in...
To repeat my previous question, can you or can you not say anything about his claims of having been attacked on the night of the raid? Do you have reason to believe that he caused harm to any potential raiders? Because if he did not proffer the corpses to the correct authorities, and as such, we would have to ascertain their whereabouts.
Balin has just stopped in the middle of the street. Like you have not made it to wherever you were going to have lunch.
Yeah.
He's just frozen in the street, looking at the floor. Something definitely came in the window.
Something came in the window of the stable or of his home.
The stable. I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. You said you were at the docks with your family.
I had to clean up, so I know something came through the window.
Okay, but the window was broken.
Yes.
Okay.
I think something tried to come through the door and didn't manage. The door was quite damaged. I had to rehang it on its hinges.
It would make sense from what we know about the raiders for them to have tried that.
And I did have to mop the floor.
So there was definitely severe harm done to any such invaders.
And unless they're particularly large and have explosively
particularly
bad
large amounts of
nosebleeds.
blood.
Yeah, there was a lot of staining, and I had to. Yeah, I can't tell you what happened to anyone who came through that window. But the door that key opens was where the blood led. And I am not supposed to have that key.
So you have reason to believe that there may be something behind that door that is of interest to the law.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
All right, I'm gonna go to the dragon and have some lunch, and I will be back home in an hour. But you are welcome to be my guests and wait for me there in my house.
We certainly shall. Return when you've had yourself some food.
I will do that, and I will hold you to your promise. Wanders off slightly shakily. doesn't.
Euron's gonna have a good look around for a couple of minutes, like at any potential alleys or just anything nearby where somebody could have concealed themselves to hear what they were talking about.
Okay, can I have a perception check from you then? You get bonuses from having been lurking there for a while. Not that you'll probably need them because
It's a 24.
All right, you don't see anyone. You do see that there's like a couple of alleyways where someone might have been hiding, or rather could have been hiding. They are big enough for people.
Yeah.
But you can't see any evidence that anyone was here. You didn't hear anything in terms of someone scurrying off or anything. So, back at the stables, Snitch has completed a thorough searching of the hayloft. Nell also helped.
Nell was there too, I guess.
Nell was there, I guess.
He mentioned
poking at piles of straw.
Here's the thing: he mentioned that Starlight kicked the shit out of one of the invaders. So I probably thought I'm gonna have a look at Starlight's stall, and then
for a second
made a
I thought you were. For a second I thought you were gonna say hooves there, and I was like, oh boy, that's a bad idea.
No, they'll have cleaned those, and
also you don't. You do not want to be checking.
I feel like I tried to go into Starlight's stall and then was taught the error of my ways very quickly by a pissed off pony.
You probably because the doors, the Balin kind of bolted all of the doors. So it's the lower half and the upper half still open so that the horses can stick their heads over and be like, what's going on? But they can't actually get out. The moment you put your hand on the door of Starlight's stall, she's facing the other way and she just kicks it with both back feet. Which makes a very loud noise for everyone still in the stables. And Starlight just looking over her shoulder at you like, fucking try it.
Nice pony, very friendly pony. I'm gonna put my hand on the thing again and see if she kicks.
She makes a harumphing noise. In the
the
way that only horses could do. With nasal passages that long, you can make a very good harumphing noise. Yeah. I mean, it seems annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
It's an annoyed harumph.
Nice horsey. I'm not gonna come in. I'm gonna respect your space. I'm trying to get a look at the door where she kicked it.
I mean, it looks like it's been thoroughly kicked.
Does it look like it gets kicked a lot?
Yeah. Some of the boards are different colours. You suspect they have to be replaced.
Well, it's definitely plausible that that she kicked the shit out of someone breaking into the stables. Seems like something she'd do.
She a pissed off pony.
Right, Snitch will have found something more useful than me.
Snitch has spent some minutes searching through all of the hay. It is not a nice, neat ordered. There aren't bales of hay up here. There is just piles of hay everywhere. Some pitchforks, usually used for, moving the hay, before anyone has a moment of pitchfork and torches mobs. Pitchforks are actually useful in a stable. You found...
Why they have so many of them.
What was it you got again? It's 20-something?
22.
22. You find... You sort of move some of the hay around and stuff, spend ages searching, and then you're just about to go back down going, well, I found a lot of hay! A lot of hay out there in the hayloft. When some of the hay you've moved near the hatch, I guess, the hole with the ladder in it. You've moved some of it, and now you can see that there's a small stain, a small dark stain on the floor.
Ooh.
It looks like a few droplets of something. It seems to have dried, and it's on wood, so it's kind of hard to tell what it is. But it's suspicious.
I don't know what it is, but I got a dark stain here. I'm not saying it's blood, but I'm not saying it's not blood.
Why would there be blood or not blood in your hayloft, Mr. Husk?
Maybe one of the bastards ran up there to hide. I don't know.
who was bleeding.
Yes.
You scared them off.
Yes.
How did you do that exactly? Could you elaborate?
With an axe.
And application of said axe?
Well, yeah.
Mr. Hosk, if we're going to take an accurate report, you're going to need to make sure that you tell us details.
Right. How many details do you want? I swung an axe at them a few times, think I got a couple of good hits in, and they ran off. And one of them got the shit kicked out of them by Starlight, so I imagine they'd be pretty bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised they were walking, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It will be not long after this that Huron will return. I assume. I'm assuming he's coming to join the rest of you and not just going, it's a nice day for a stroll in Sandpoint, I'm off to the beach.
Oh, hello, Huron. Just taking some notes.
Excellent. Find anything interesting?
Little bit of blood.
And Mr. Hosk managed to chase off and strike 3 goblins who were crazy. What did you describe them as looking like?
Crazy eyes. Crazy eyes were the words that I used.
Did that stop at any point the eye thing?
No. No. I mean, maybe, but at some point they were turning the other way and running away, so...
Also, just to clarify, Mr. Hosk, your apprentice wasn't here that night? He was at the festival or something?
Yeah, it was at the festival. Or,
okay.
I gave him the night off to go to the festival.
Alright, so you were the only one here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the window exactly? You said you had to board it over. What happened to it?
No, that's how they got in.
Oh, they broke in through the window. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd locked the doors because nobody wants the horse during a festival. They were all busy and I was just cleaning up and... I presume they tried to come through the door and didn't manage it because it was a bit stuck afterwards. Had to get Bill in to rehang it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's taller than me.
Want to come and have a look around, Huron? You've got better eyes than me.
Right, let's have a wee look.
Nell just poking at a pile of hay. I think this is hay. This is my opinion of how good Nell's perception is, for the record. She's going,
This is when we find out that Nell's perception is so bad because she fucking needs glasses. Like,
like partway through the campaign, she's just like, holy shit.
They're just gonna like continue just to gesture with their quill, just because they like now how it feels. So, Mr. Hosk, when you chased away these 3 goblins, one of whom got kicked. Wait. Got the shit kicked out of them by Starlight.
Yes.
And
Okay.
one that you had hit several times with an axe.
Or I might have hit a couple of them. I don't know. They all look the same to me.
Did they all look the same?
Yeah.
Well, you should have.
Small,
you need to
green.
Make that down. If they were, how did they look? Were they all wearing the same armor?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense now. How did they leave?
Back out the window.
Back out the window.
Well,
so they ran past you into the stable, and then were attacked, and then so they ran back past you again. The person who was attacking them and the pony that attacked them.
I was here.
Out of the.
He's kind of pointing at roughly, like.
Would you mind helping us lay out the scene?
Sure. Right, so I was here. Stands kind of just in front of the door that he came out of at the back.
Mhm.
I was here. I was going that way, back into my house, that way, through the door. And they came through the window that is... It's maybe 15 foot behind him.
Mm-hmm.
They came through that window, and they attacked me, and one of them went off down there and attacked the horses. And I swung at them a few times, and there was some... Well, I mean, I knew exactly which pony they'd provoked. by the noises, and then they went back out the window. So they didn't actually have to go past me any of those times. You see?
See.
Right, thank you. And the axe in question, was that just here? Did you have that on you already?
He turns and you can see he's got an axe on his belt.
Ah, right, so you keep it on you. Okay.
It's useful for freeing horses from things. Sometimes the idiots get stuck, and sometimes people attack us, because, you know, horses worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Understandable, yes.
Never was very good with a sword, but axe I've got.
I'm gonna, like, go over to Huron and, like...
I was about to ask, Nick, you were squinting hard at the man while he was talking. Do you wish to do some kind of roll?
Yeah.
Since they were hoping that when they had their first conversation, they were like, hopefully Huron will come back, and then he can sense this man's motives.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's sense motive for everything I've heard since I've come back. I've just been look at him. And that wasn't great. 12.
That really wasn't great. You don't know. You're just. I mean,
like,
you're not sure if it's just because
I
you're very
know
naturally suspicious of this man, and because you've already heard another story.
I also know he's lying.
You've heard Balin's story, so you have heard a different version of this story, or at least a version of a story that doesn't quite match up. But you can't tell whether this man is like if you didn't already know that, you're just like, still can't quite tell. For a moment, you're like, was Balin lying? You just have a weird moment of not knowing what's going on here. Somebody is probably lying. And I imagine that on balance, you're probably going to assume it's the racist. Because I would just like to apologize both to the group and to the chat and to anyone watching this in the future for that sentence I had to say about goblins all looking the same.
Yeah.
Because I felt so dirty. Oh, I hate this man. Please kill him. I wish to never play him again.
Ask another question.
Mm.
So,
More.
Mr. Hosk,
Yes, deputy.
is there any other ways into this building?
I mean, there's that door. There's the window. There's another window on the other end, and there's a door.
Okay. And the building adjacent? There.
The building adjacent would be my house.
Mhm.
Yes, there's several other ways into my house, but
they
that
all-
door's the only way from the house into here.
Were they all secure on the night of the raid?
Well, nobody came in via them, as far as I know.
I'm gonna, like, sidle up to Huron and say very, very quietly, find out anything fun?
Hi, I'm going to assume you're doing that while Mox is basically distracting Hosk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Under his breath, say, I've got a key for a room inside his house where I'm fairly sure there are at least one corpse. Balin had to clean up a large amount of blood when he returned. So one of them is lying.
And I think we know which one it is. Is that good enough evidence for you to act, do you think?
Along with, it's putting a lot of pressure on the boy, but he was willing to state that he suspects that there is a corpse behind that door and gave me the key for it.
If we find solid proof inside the house, that takes some of the weight off of Balin.
But we are investigating. If we demand entry, we are doing it off his word.
I think it's a risk we've got to take.
I have promised that he will be fine.
He will be, one way or another, he will be.
I will put myself between him and the Zarni if I have to.
You won't be the only one.
Hosk.
It does not.
Remember the entrances and possible exits.
It does not.
Explored multiple ways.
It does not take any perception rolling or sense motive rolling for Mox and everyone else to be aware that Hosk is getting increasingly irritated by Mox's questions.
If I drew a map of your house, could you tell me if it was accurate or not? And
Right.
little X's and this
Box, I think that'll do.
Okay.
Thank the gods. Does that mean you guys are done?
No, it does not.
Uh,
Hosk, I'm going to have a look in your house.
Why?
Because Balin has given me reason to suspect that you have hidden corpses inside your home.
The boy has done what?
Of raiders that you have killed during this attack and forced him to clean up the evidence of.
Oh, has he?
Oh, that would be directly contradictory to the statement you gave us.
It would indeed.
Yes, I've written it down here. I can read it back if you'd like.
That doesn't sound like a whole lot of proof to me, Deputy.
It's enough for us to look for more proof.
He was willing to state. He in fact invited me in to have a look, given that this is also his domicile.
Is it now?
My apprentice does live with me, yes.
And we have permission from a legal occupier to enter the house, you say, Huron?
We do.
Well then!
I'll get some more paper.
In that case, I don't think I really have the legal right to stop you, do I?
Correct.
Afraid not.
Fine.
Thank you ever so much.
If you're still happy, like you can still come with us, then you know,
Yes, that is your right.
it's still your house.
Nell is so happy.
Fine. Let's go and have a look at my house, shall we? So, you have got entrance. He's not standing in the way. He's not getting out of the way exactly, but he's no longer actively barring you entrance to his house. You will have to move him in some way to get to the door, but he doesn't seem to be resisting that anymore.
So we'll lead on.
This way, deputies. And he leaves, goes through the door into his house.
While they're going in, I'm gonna like grab Snitch by the shoulder and say, find that hidden room.
Something just went clank underneath my chair, and I have this horrible feeling it's part of the chair. If I suddenly disappear, the chair has betrayed me. Hopefully it will not. I'd rather...
I don't think the GM could stand my smug face, as I've been telling her to replace that bloody chair since we got here.
It's a good
We'll
chair.
watch in case you just start suddenly leaning to one side.
Goodbye!
That's happened to Rory with his last chair.
Just because a chair was once good does not mean that it always is.
I have no idea if this chair was once good. I've only lived here a month.
Oh yeah, I forgot it was a new one.
2 months. This is not my chair.
Chairs betray you in the end.
So,
Nell, did you mean like from the beach tunnel or just?
No, from in here.
Okay.
I figure you've
So-
got a better chance of
So-
going unnoticed and finding things he doesn't want us to find.
Well, Huron's intention is to be looking for the door that he knows he has the key for.
Yeah.
We're just going to continue to annoy Hoss. We're just being like, so what entrance is this? Is this also an exit? Is this one that you use? Is this one that was barred in the night of the raid?
most of the doors that you come across will be opened for you in a sort of dramatic, look, there's a room kind of way, because he's getting very annoyed with you.
What Nell's going to be doing basically is she's always going to be the last one in the room, and she's always going to be positioned to catch him if he tries to run.
Okay?
Just like,
So, Mox is
She's
on...
going to fucking choke him out with a scarf.
Mox is on annoyance/distraction duty.
Yep.
Huron's looking for the door, Snitch is looking for the door, and Nell is looking to take down this man if he so much as breathes wrong. Good. Glad I've just got that sorted. I imagine you'd immediately have everyone's help as well, Nell, so it's not like you have to, do it entirely by yourself.
I don't need to stop him, I just need to slow him down.
And then Mox will stop him. Okay, so you follow him through into what appears to be the hall, like the hallway of a house. It's quite a big house.
Mhm.
It's laid out more like a manor house would be laid out, like the sort of the hallway with the stairs and things.
Yeah.
It's a lot smaller than that, but it's not laid out like a normal you've walked into the kitchen kind of little house.
Mhm.
So you walk in and you're in the hallway. You can see what's probably the front door. There's a big strong looking door. If when Mox inevitably asks
Yeah.
about said door, it is shown to Mox that it leads to the outside, and it is in fact both an entrance and an exit, as that is indeed how doors work.
Right, thank you, Mr. Hoss. That's very helpful. Any other information?
There are
you
also
can provide?
windows, but you can see that they are not broken and do not open.
PM,
Yes.
can I perhaps use my knowledge of where the secret entrance from the beach is
Mhm.
to extrapolate where any hidden room might be?
You were told what room the hidden entrance led to.
I think it was the basement, wasn't it? It was the loose
was the basement.
flagstone on the basement as well.
Loose flagstone under the floor of the basement
Was where what the
was what Natalia said.
the cave went to.
Hopefully he will eventually take us
Like,
to the basement.
is there like an obvious basement door?
There does appear,
As
because
multiple
you are
guests
being
about every
introduced
door.
to every door,
Yep.
so this is nice and obvious. I'm not going to make any
Yeah,
more
yeah.
perception. There is a staircase going up, and there appears to be a door going under the staircase. And where that door should go, if there's a room, is either it's a very tiny room under the stairs, which is not impossible, or it leads into the stables. And you did not see any doors leading into the stables from there. So it's either a cupboard or stairs.
So what does Hosk say it is when Mox asks about that door?
That goes to the cellar, where we keep our food. You know, nice and cold, keeping the food. Sometimes some wine, if I can persuade Ven to part with any of his.
Well, if we could please see the cellar.
Why do you need to see my food and wine?
Because we need to ascertain that it is food and wine.
I'll have to go and get the key.
I'll accompany you.
Turns and heads towards the back.
I'm
back
going
of the
with
house.
him. He's not getting out of my fucking sight.
Okay. He's going towards what appears to be a kitchen.
Okay.
Huron, whilst he's away, he's going to check the key that he has to see if it fits, or
does.
to see if this is the door. Right. Okay.
It does indeed fit.
We'll
He goes.
leave it locked and put the key back in his pocket.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a chance to decide what your reaction is going to be before he does a thing.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to tell you what he's going to do, but I can tell you what will kickstart your reaction.
Okay.
There is a line of keys hanging on hooks next to what is visibly a back door. That is the direction he is going. What are you going to do?
Beat into the back door and lean against it nonchalantly.
Okay, can I get some kind of
Acrobatics, I'd say.
acrobatics? It's basically a tumble check. If you were actively fighting this man, you're trying to get past him.
21.
Nice.
Nell is fast.
Fine, you get there first. He rolled a 3.
Lean
I
against the
don't-
door.
I'm not even going to bother checking what his pluses would be for that kind of thing, because he's not getting over a 21 having rolled a 3. You just lean casually, he's like, what? Like, he tries to look like he's not reacting, but he visibly flinches when you're obviously like, just, boom!
I was just like, hey.
This is getting a key.
Mm-hmm.
That a problem, deputy?
Not at all.
Good. He pulls a key off of the hook. Looks at it. Compares it to a very similar looking one. Swaps it for the similar looking one. None of them are labeled in any way.
Not one handily labeled murder and torture cellar.
This is for the murder basement. Clues here. Use this key to find clues. Alas. This is not one of those video games where when you pick up the right key, it makes a little tinkly noise and goes, you found the quest item. And you're like, yes.
Or something.
Press log updates.
Yeah.
Like, yes, found the right key. I have no idea how my character knows that, but I found the right key. Okay, so yeah, you Snitch and Mox, unless you accompanied Nell to the kitchen, witnessed Huron go, that's the right key, and then put it back in his pocket. And after a while, and even grumpier if it was possible, somehow Hosk is even grumpier than he was, and he is now back.
Nell looks really smug when she follows him in.
Is
He's
he
just kind of
opening the key?
He's
Is he
not.
opening the door?
He's standing in front of the door with the key, looking at you all.
Mr. Hosk, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Do you intend to open the door?
Huron, can I get a ref save?
Oh, shit's kicking off.
I hope it
Oh,
is.
that was shit hot.
Oh, let us get him on assaulting a member of the law enforcement as well.
22.
This is very embarrassing for Hosk. Hosk attempts to pocket sand Huron.
Oh my god.
Bah! And then Huron's like, like, what the fuck? What? That just completely misses.
As soon as it's going over, he's already moving. He tackles him.
You sense from the fact that he's very obviously off balance when you tackle him. I'm not going to make you roll to tackle him. That he was about to start sprinting past you to the front door.
Yep.
Anybody have any manacles on them?
Aye, as it happens, I do.
You're gonna fucking regret this.
I was just going to knock him out with
sure.
my snap.
No. Keep him awake for this. I want him to be awake.
I will fix shackles into place. Mox, if you would keep a hold of him, I'll use my key. Takes his out of his pocket and unlocks the door.
Hosk looks like someone has, in fact, hit him with a sap. He's going, what?
Now then, Mr. Hosk.
You see,
Let me go, Greenskin.
I'm going downstairs.
Ooh.
I don't wish to be touched by you.
Ooh. Now
Don't
write
think
all
you-
that down. Now,
don't
Mox,
think you
write
get
all
a
that
choice
down.
anymore.
Mox, write it down. Write it down. He's just digging his grave.
It is written in very pointy letters.
Nell will like restrain him while Mox is writing down further statements. Anything you say, Canon, will be held against you, by the way.
Shut up. Who even cares what you think? You're just a jumped up dancer.
Damn right.
What are you going to insult me on then, eh?
I'm just quite glad
So
you
you've
didn't say Nell too.
you've insulted Mox for their race, something they have no control over. You've insulted their choice of profession. What shall do at me then?
He spits at you.
Coward.
The first time you asked it, he did legitimately just go, like, don't have anything. I'm
He
just
ju-
nothing but a
just
schoolyard
look-
bully.
Just looks at him with the most intense disgust and spits the word coward at him in Dwarven.
He doesn't look like he understood, but he did understand. He doesn't know
He
what
got
you
the
said,
tone.
but he knows it was insulting. All right, so you want to go into the
Have a
basement?
look in the
I'm,
cellar.
I'm already in the basement. I've been wanting to get in here for weeks.
Huron, you go to unlock the door, only to have found that you did just do that, and Snitch is already 3 meters ahead of you.
What has happened?
Let's
How
go
did that
down the
happen?
stairs, shall we, Mr. Hoss?
There are indeed a set of dark stairs ahead of you.
Come on,
And
Mr. Hosk. Going on some walkies.
Mr. Hosk, did you know that the moon and the stars are always there? You might want to remember that for the next few months of your life.
what the fuck are you doing? What?
Walkie down the stairs. Walkie
I will eat you.
I don't think you're going to be eating much more than gruel for the next little while, my good man.
Of course. Hang on. Right. I'm going to roll an intimidate check.
Oh.
24. If you don't start cooperating, you're going to be eating your own teeth.
One foot in front of the other now, Mr. Hosk.
You've seen a very different side of Mox.
Right then, let's find this trail of blood that I was looking for.
Poor Hosk now dreaming of the days when Mox was just asking them invasive questions about doors.
Hosk is like, oh, for those days. Like 10 minutes ago.
For those heady days.
So, can I get perception checks of all of you? I was going to ask you some silly questions, but then I remembered that nobody made the decision to play a human, so you could all see in the dark.
I got a 16. That's very good for me.
But you know who can't see in the dark? It Hosk. 16. Sorry, that took a while to sink in. Good lord, Nell.
It's very good for me.
Thing.
25.
Not that good. Physically
Mox,
can't get that.
How are you doing, Mox?
Oh,
How
I got
did you
7.
see? 7.
Probably because I'm
Okay.
staring. Because my next intimidation thing, if needs be, is just to look at his ear.
You can see the corner of Hosk's mouth just quivering gently. I'm not sure if it's rage or if he's about to cry.
Also, Mox is slightly distracted by having to lead the human. Because you didn't turn any, you don't have any lights with you or anything, so you're just going into the darkness that he
Absolutely
cannot
not.
see.
It's fine. It just makes it harder for him to run away.
Snitch, what did you get in perception?
I got an 18.
Okay, so, wow, you did all except Mox passed. You can all see that the stairs are stained. They look almost, at the top it looks almost like, you know when you get stairs and they've got like a little bit of carpet in the middle? And then they've got like bare boards to either side. It's kind of like that, but then you realize that it kind of tapers after a while and you realize that it's some kind of long dragged stain.
Hmm.
It's quite dark, and again, because you're using dark vision down here, it's kind of grayscale, so you don't really get color. But it is a suspicious-looking stain that was not on the other side of the door.
I don't think we need color at this point.
Yeah, this is when I turn around and go, surprise, bitches, it's blue.
Oh, I'm just tasting the air for the telltale smell of vinegar.
Oh yeah, you're looking for the giant pickle. Cat, had you forgotten?
I'd forgotten.
Oh no, sorry to re-traumatize you.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, so you go down the stairs. Hosk is shit at these stairs in the dark. Mox is concentrating on that. So if anything needs to be pointed out, and you find.
Out of character, maybe don't tell Mox that, because they're very close to just pushing him down these stairs.
You without
Yeah,
unless anyone.
you can't take notes at the moment. Anyway, you're dealing with the suspect.
Yep.
So you do in fact all make it, unless one of you does tell Mox and Mox does push Hosk down the stairs. You do in fact all make it to the bottom. It's one of those. It's one of those staircases. It does actually have a wall on both sides, so you can't see the room you're going into until you get to the bottom and kind of turn a corner. No, I'm not going to make you roll perception checks. I will, however, get you to roll will saves.
Oh.
That's concerning.
Decent.
Oh no.
Oh no, I think bad things may happen to Hosk.
It was decent, but I didn't roll very well.
10.
My will's not very high. 14.
Snitch? Okay.
Natural 1.
I don't add anything to that roll.
So we've all
Oh,
failed
of course,
except maybe
you're a bloody
Hero.
rogue.
So,
Oh, if there's a haunt down here, I'm coming round to your house.
there are no haunts. There are no magical effects. This was purely how much do you lose your shit when you see what is down here. This is a purely an oh god why moment rather than...
I think Huron might count as jaded for this kind of particular thing.
Yep, you are in fact doing the best out of everyone. Everyone else gets to decide how they react, though I suspect the answer is badly, which is why my instinct was that bad things are about to happen to poor Mr. Hosk. Poor Mr. Hosk, so sad. When you come down, you turn a corner and you see a wall covered with ears. They're all nailed to the wall.
Every single word of it is true. Zarni are going to love you.
just looks a little. He looks a little bit concerned.
Do most Sarni agents give away what they get up to, so that basically the entire town that they live in knows? I'm just curious.
He looks as if he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. He's looking at the floor.
Bethan, I gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a pickled individual?
There's a lot of shit down here. The wall is obvious because it's a wall. Everything else is kind of crates and barrels and shit. Like, if it is down here, you're gonna have to find it.
Like, when I see everyone else's reaction, he's like he'll stop as slightly. He's enjoying the moment and then realizes that he's enjoying it a bit too much.
Your friends are traumatized.
Oh no! Oh
Right.
no! I haven't said what Mox's reaction is.
What is Mox doing when they see the wall of ears?
Stop. It's like, 'cause I imagine they're like holding him like by the shoulders, or
Yeah, because you're kind of leading
where
him.
he's
You
manacled,
would
he's
have
manacled front or back.
one hand manacle, one hand shoulder, probably.
Yeah. Well, is it manacled front or back? Doesn't really matter. But
Back.
it's just, just that.
Because I tackled him to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll just have them. So it'll just be sort of. Mox was sort of just casually pulling down the manacles at the back, so until there's like a nice dual little pop as his shoulders dislocate. Then Mox is going to lean over to Hosk.
There's a small pop and then a loud scream.
Like, put the other arm around to like catches Hosk by the chest, right next to their ear, and licks it.
Right, I think we've seen enough. Let's get back to the garrison.
just that low.
And then what Huron's going to do as he sort of walks to grab one arm whilst Mox has the other, he is going to batter his shoulder back into place.
I was just about to tell you that his arms are all floppy and weird, but they're not anymore. That one's not anymore. That one is now just there's a lot of screaming happening. There's a lot of screaming.
I was gonna roll heal to like legitimately just pop his shoulder back in.
Oh no, it's still gonna hurt either way, but
Yeah.
feel free to roll heal to get it right.
Nell's like leaning up against the wall while this is happening, not even looking, and she just says
The-
very, very vacantly, still looking at the wall of ears, "You really shouldn't resist arrest, Mr. Hosk."
17.
Yeah, you do manage to pop it in properly. In the manner that would still need medical attention, but it won't need to be redone. Because I presume that's a battlefield thing of going, I'm going to put your arm back in so that you can kind of use it, I guess.
Yeah, so
It's-
there's
it's-
tendon damage.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the quick and dirty method.
Much easier if you have a tennis ball on hand, apparently. You just put
Yep.
the tennis ball in the... Random things I know. What is Snitch doing? Because you didn't roll the worst, but you don't currently have someone to dislocate, so...
I think Snitch is probably just going to go outside and puke.
Very sensible.
If Mox did manage to dislocate both of his arms at the same time, then Huron will pop the other one back in as well. Like,
Yep.
he'll do that one will be less violent. It'll be more the way you're supposed to. The first one was just getting out a little bit of his own frustration.
By this point, he's not screaming when you do it anymore. He's now just kind of going... like, trying really hard to not scream and really failing. Yes. So, are you taking him out? Snitch has already left and is puking upstairs somewhere.
Nell's gonna look at Mox and Huron and say, "You two take him to the garrison. I'm gonna start
You
going
should
through
come.
what's down here."
No, we will come back and go through it together. I'm not leaving one of us to go through this horror show.
Okay.
This is not going anywhere.
Hosk mostly just seems to be sweating, and probably trying to not scream more.
Is there a wet patch on the front of his trousers?
No.
Aw.
You're on. Bring someone else back from the guard as well. I mean, I know we're heroes and all, but we're still like 4 outsiders. So
Aye,
We need other witnesses.
we'll bring whatever their most senior people are.
All right.
Silent on the way back to barracks, by the way, but it'll be a very heavy silence.
the
Like when
walk
you know
back.
someone is trying not to hit you real hard. Just that kind of crackling. That just
Yeah.
at any point your neck will be broken. That type of nice feeling that Mox is going to be giving off.
It doesn't seem to be fighting any of this in any way. You're not sure if it's the pain, if it's the awareness that Mox will end him.
They'll tear off his ear with their teeth
Yep.
and pin it on his wall.
Okay. Sorry, just looking through stuff. Okay, got it. Right, yeah, you make it back. You do, because it is still the middle of the day, so you do pass a number of people on the way. They all give you very funny looks. Most of them kind of take one look and then just immediately like go about their business, but with the kind of stride that tells you that whoever they are going to meet will be gossiped at.
Yeah.
They're kind of, oh, do I have some juicy gossip for you, friend?
Euron is making no attempt to be subtle. He is striding with him held in front of him, just forcing him down the way.
One of the people you see on the street ahead of you as you were heading to the garrison, you can see the garrison from here. You see somebody who is obviously dressed in the outfit of the town watch. They see you, their eyes go huge, and they run to the garrison. So by the time you get there, there is an elf standing outside, leaning on the wall, dressed in, again, pretty much the same kind of armor, who also has a shiny silver badge.
As an out of character note, did I know where Balin was going to go? He said he was
going to the dragon. Yeah.
Right. We should send a runner to the dragon. Balin's there.
He's a witness. We need him.
Ichiro, go to the dragon. Go find Balin. Young Master Kaijutsu comes out past you, being the obvious one to go to the dragon.
Yeah.
And just kind of looks at Hosk, and then looks away and just walks like not quite exactly in the wrong direction to go to the Rusty Dragon, but you suspect he's taking a long route so he doesn't have to go past Hosk.
Yeah.
And it seems to be going like this way.
As a quick explanation, we were invited to search someone's domicile on the suspicion that there might be a body within. We had heard stories of an assault and a possible altercation. I was given a key to a particular room that was under suspicion.
By the other occupant of the house, not Mr. Hosk.
The elf kind of gestures at you to keep talking, but like kind of does a follow me.
My point being, this was entirely a legal seizure.
I don't doubt it. Mr. Hosk, I'm sure you recognize me, so I won't bother introducing myself, but I am very glad to see your new bracelets. I have been meaning to buy you a pair for a while myself, but you always seem to just... Very slippery man. So, we have a cell all picked out ready for you, and I'm going to escort you there myself. Deputies, would you like to come with me?
By all means.
Wouldn't miss it.
Quite a moment. I will, however, have to let our good jailer know.
Mox is gonna just remember and entirely forget to be angry.
Yeah.
I meant to give him a hug.
I've yet to meet this individual.
Bashedi, I've got someone for you. It's Hosk. And you hear just a very deep voice that I'm not going to attempt because I like being able to talk. Go, Hosk. And then there is a person arrives who is a good 8 foot tall. I believe the phrase is built like a brick shithouse. He's also very wide and covered in tattoos and basically just wearing trousers.
Okay.
I heard you were having trouble and needed a hug, but I brought you a present instead.
Well there, Deputy, I vastly appreciate the present. Hi there, Hosk. Hosk looks more likely to wet himself now than he did when Mox was literally dislocating his shoulders. The very tall man, who, it's a fairly common race, so you would probably all assume to be Garandar, giant-blooded. Just from the sheer fucking height, looks down and just goes, would you like to escort him, Deputy Springhold, or shall I carry him? And the deputy in front of you just goes, I should probably escort him. Yeah, I should probably escort him. But you should go and open his cell, Vachetti. Oh, I will. Deputies.
Fox is always so tickled when they find someone bigger than them.
He kind of turns and turns back and just goes, you, and points at Mosk and goes, we can have the hug later, yeah? Just walks
Giving
away.
over a drink.
Huron's just surprised when he finds someone wider than him.
Yep. He's a very big lad. You now possibly understand a bit more why the sheriff was like, take him to see the jailer. Everybody loves the jailer. Oh, and Vachetti, the jailer, also is covered in Shoanti tattoos. You can see, in fact, that they go across his chest as well, because he's not wearing many clothes.
Hard to get clothes that would quite cover him.
He looks like he might
Really?
hulk out of clothes at any given moment, really.
He's just given up at this point.
He's just like, fuck it!
It's
Because there's so many shirts. No point. But between Vachetti, yourselves, and the deputy who has been called Springhold, you get Hosk to a cell where he is unceremoniously shoved through the door. And then Springhold goes, you gotta stand back up again or I can't take your manacles off. Those are your options. Lie there with manacles or come over here and have no manacles and then get to lie there without the manacles. Those are kind of your only options, really. He does eventually get up and his manacles are taken off and then the door is slammed in his face. And then Springhold turns to you, sort of spinning the key to the cell around his hand and goes, oh, whose are these manacles?
Mine. I took them from here, to be fair, but...
Nicely done! We have been trying to do that for years. How did you get Balin to talk? I'm assuming it was Balin. Balin's the only person that lives there.
Aye. Good kid, he was fucking terrified, though.
Yeah, no, he spent most of his life being terrified.
It helped that Hosk fucked up. He went around bragging about killing some greenskins that broke into his stables.
They always fuck up sooner or later. They always do.
And
Didn't report it.
did not proffer any bodies thereof.
That means there's bodies in his house somewhere, doesn't there?
There's
There's a lot
something in
more
his
than
house.
bodies in his house. I suspect that every single rumor you have ever heard about that man is true.
We're gonna need the scientist. Hang on, I'll go and find him. I'll meet you back in the front, the reception-y bit.
Aye.
Ready?
I'm gonna have
Ready?
a seat and a drink.
Shitty, could you just forget about this man for a few hours? Thanks.
He might need a bit of look into his shoulders. He did not come entirely easily.
Shitty and Springhold kind of look at each other for a few seconds.
He should be mostly alright, though. I've set them.
Yeah, alright. And then you can forget about him for a few hours.
Aye.
He doesn't need every meal.
Nobody does.
Exactly.
I'm gonna, once it's the four of us again, I'm gonna say, would you lot be alright if I hang around here for a while? Because I suspect some of his Sarny friends might show up and want to know what's going on.
Very possibly.
I can handle that. I don't know if I can handle that basement again.
I'm gonna say I'm still at the house, by the way. I don't know if you thought I was with you.
Oh, I just assumed you'd gone with them.
I thought it was
You're-
just Mox and Huron that were going.
No, they all went. I assumed you went with them. So what is Snitch doing?
I'm probably gonna take a deep breath, brace himself, go back down into the basement, and find a bottle of wine to sip on while he searches the place.
All right, so it is probably about the point that you hand over Hosk to Vashedi that you realize that Snitch is not just being sneaky and hiding like he usually does. He's just actively not with you.
Oh, here. Snitch is still at the house, isn't he?
Shit.
Um,
I'm sorry if this is a bad thing. I didn't realise that.
No,
everyone
it's just we're
was-
just worried about you.
they're worried
They're
about
just-
you.
Last time we saw you were throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want you to have to go through that shit on your own.
Oh, and now I'm drinking on an empty stomach.
Oh
Threw up, you're like, it's fine, I shall replace it with wine.
I'll get the taste out of your mouth. Fine.
The deputy you were talking to before, the elf, Springhold, he doesn't take very long to come back. And he has with him, Nell, he has an Ifrit with him,
no! Hello.
wearing very sort of studious clothes, rolling up their
Hello.
sleeves. Oh! Hello.
Hi.
Huh.
This is mildly awkward. Hi, I'm JC.
Hi.
I'm Deputy Springhold said you might need me?
We've got a rather unpleasant scene.
Those are my specialty. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Haven't been needed for one of these in a while. Cool, where are we going?
Hosks.
The stable.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Perhaps calling to mind any rumours that you might have heard about this human to steal yourself might be worth it. I suspect all of it is true.
One of our friends is still there.
Oh, we should hurry then.
Yeah, we should
But
beat
he
it.
knows better than to touch anything he shouldn't.
I'm gonna
Does he?
I'm gonna stay here and cut off any of Hosk's friends at the pass.
I'll stay with you
Keep
now.
one of us in.
Okay.
All right, so Huron is heading back with Springhold and JC to go and find Snitch. And as it is roughly time for our break, we should have a break there. And that means that I don't have to describe in detail what people are going to see in the basement before people go and get snacks. So, snacks, hydrate, go pee, do all the things, go and stretch your legs a bit, dance. I don't know, whatever you normally do during breaks. Do a little dance.
We'll be back in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Back in
We'll
10.
see you soon. Bye.
Cold.
Message that.
Hi. Hi, folks. We're back. Back from our lovely break. I hope everyone is hydrated and otherwise fine.
Refreshed.
Refreshed. Thank you. I couldn't think of any other words for that. We are back. Some of the characters, thankfully not the players, are about to go and investigate a horrible basement, and I have been reminded that I should give a warning here. This basement is very horrible, and there might be some gore. There will be some gore, and some things that could count as body horror, amputation-y things, stuff like that. So please be advised if you need to watch this at another time or just skip it altogether. Totally fine. No worries. Go keep yourself safe.
I'm sure for YouTube re-uploads, you can timestamp it and then.
Yeah, and we'll be like, come back
There-
in
yeah.
at a point.
done?
It'll say so in the description. by
I
the
will
time it takes to
timestamp
YouTube.
it in the description when this gets uploaded so that if you want to leave now and watch the rest of the episode later, you can skip the relevant bits. I'll make sure
Yep.
that that's all sorted out for people.
All right, good. So, I believe Mox and Nell are lurking at the garrison in order to head off any Zarni who arrive to try and bail out their companion, shady friend, who has now made it to a cell. And Huron was heading back with Deputy Springhold and JC, the newly met Ifrit scientist, to go and find Snitch, who is still at the house having a look around.
And wine drunk.
And wine drunk, because he threw up everything he had eaten, and then he started drinking some wine.
It's after
Straight
12,
from the
it's
bottle.
fine.
So, Snitch, You are looking around the basement.
I am looting the. No, I'm searching for anything of interest.
Okay, so you
I
have
mean,
bottle.
I mean, loot is interesting, obviously, but
I'm gonna say now, please don't loot this room. Yes, you probably don't want much of what's in here.
probably not. But
You currently have most of the loot in your hand and in your stomach because you are drinking the wine that is also down here. There's not much wine, and it's not very good wine. Like Vivian would not consider it wine. That sort of level.
Oh,
Are
so
you
like
sure
it's
this-
Let's be real. I don't think Snitch is
don't think Snitch
particularly
cares.
discerning.
No,
like Blossom Hill rosé.
I'm somewhat discerning, but this is not a
I fucking
situation
love
I'm gonna
that
be
shit.
discerning in.
Oh, it's look. You can like it all you want. Just don't call it wine.
Viv has opinions on wine.
It's
It's a thing you must know about us.
sipping drunkenness.
So there is some wine down there that's not very good, nor is it very old. Thankfully, nor is it super new because otherwise, bleh. That's how that works. I know wine.
And one
That is
thing,
a
one thing I
thing.
am
I
looking out for is
drink the
a
alcohol.
slightly bigger glass vessel.
Yes, you are currently looking for, I believe, a pickled goblin. Is that right? Is that what you're looking for?
It's one of the things I've got my beady eyes
Yes.
looking out for.
Okay, can I have a perception check from you for doing the searching? And no, I won't make you roll another will save. Just
19.
okay. So you're kind of not bothering with the wall right now because the wall is obvious.
The wall is
you're like,
the wall
that's
is
a
the wall is the wall. I feel that warrants very little further investigation.
All right.
Unless like one of the ears is like a secret room switch or something.
I mean, you'd have to poke all of them to find out. So
No, not doing that.
Not happening.
Okay, so you're looking around and you find crates and barrels, and some of them do contain bottles of wine packed in straw, which is how you transport bottles of wine. Fairly sure that's still how you transport bottles of wine.
Yeah, crates full of straw.
So you find some of that. You find some sort of what look like dried foodstuffs. This is the sort of thing you would keep in a cellar. You know, this is kind of extra food stuff.
Anything tasty?
What?
Anything tasty?
I mean, it's mostly like hardtack and jerky.
I love some jerky.
Okay, cool.
I need something to soak up the wine.
He's not a complete idiot.
Yeah.
You find.
Sorry, is that the idea of them
Just
coming back, like,
drinking.
fucking picnic?
Going through a suspect's cellar.
To be honest,
during
actually,
an
I'll probably
investigation.
go for the jerky, and then I'll catch sight of all the dried ears in the wall and think, yeah, maybe I'll go for the hardtack instead.
I was about to be like, you sure you want the jerky?
Is that definitely?
Not anymore.
Do you know that's definitely jerky?
Well, it's definitely jerky. What is it made of, though? Yeah, and you find you find barrels of food. You find some more wine. You find like a pile of various horse-related things. I don't know how much Snitch knows about horses, so
They're big and frightening.
what could be labeled as tack. Some of it looks like it might be broken because you're fairly sure it's supposed to be attached in places where it is not. There's rips in some leather. You're like, that looks like it may be broken. Probably.
Looks
Generally, things
potentially
aren't supposed to have rips in them.
That is some broken leather.
Yeah, just kind of a not knowing much about them, just going, it's probably broken. And you find back in the back corner, on the opposite side from the wall, you find a large crate with the lid hammered shut with way more nails in it than it needs. Many nails are in that lid.
Let's pry it open.
Okay. Do you have a crowbar?
No.
I think that's the first time a rogue has ever said that in response to that question. Ever in the history of Pathfinder. Okay, how are you prying open the crate then? Don't say fingernails.
Is there a crowbar in the room?
Maybe? You
I'll
weren't
search
looking
the
for
room
one
a
before.
crowbar.
Okay. So
If I can't
you're
find one here, I'll move up into the house and start searching for some sort of prying object in there. Or a
okay.
pitchfork. I can't find it in
By the time the others, Huron and his new friends, make it back to the house. Huron, how are you going in? Are you going in via the front door or the stables, or how are you getting?
Like whatever way is most direct.
Probably the front door.
Yeah.
It's not locked.
We probably would have left by that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So you find Snitch emerging out of a room holding a crowbar. Snitch, you found a crowbar in one of the rooms.
Cool.
In a bunch of tools.
I found a box. I'm going to open it. And I'll stagger drunkenly back into the basement with a mouthful of hardtack.
Right, wait a minute.
You mostly understand what he said.
Wait a minute.
Does Snitch wait a minute?
More people to have a look.
You're right. Says a very lanky elf in like leather armor who's standing behind Huron. Snitch.
I'm wonderful.
Aha.
I think perhaps you've not seen anything quite so grisly as you did below, and you are processing it.
Yeah, processing. I'm also processing some wine. And I'm about to go and process this box.
Right, fine, let's go.
You'll head back down the stairs. Snitch doesn't quite make it down the stairs in a straight line, but does successfully get to the bottom without falling.
I might possibly just slide down on my belly.
No,
I thought you were going to say butt, and that is so much funnier. So much funnier just being like, nope, can't. Time
Bum
to
shuffle
snake.
downstairs.
Downstairs. Yeah, you get to the bottom. Springhold just stops when they see the wall. Just stops dead.
Told you.
Oh. Okay, well, okay.
Think you can make this stick?
Yes. Absolutely. JC, are you okay? JC's just going, wow, that's a wall of ears.
It's quite unpleasant.
That's fascinating. How did he keep... It's not fascinating was the wrong. That was a bad way of... Sorry.
Amongst more sensitive souls, you might get an odd look for that one.
Yep. Sorry.
It's all right.
JC does, however, go over to the wall and they're kind of staring at the ears.
Been a soldier for a long time. I've seen some things.
All right, so Snitch just kind of moved a bunch of stuff around in order to get to the box. The box at the corner. The box that is about to be processed. And is currently getting back there. They're slightly bruised. Snitch, you're feeling slightly bruised. You don't really know why. I mean, it can't possibly be related to the fact that you went down a set of stairs on your stomach.
Snitch, you want a hand?
No, I've got this, he says while standing on top of the box that he's trying to crowbar open.
I'll just sort of wander over, like, and just in a very, very smooth motion of like someone who is used to dealing with drunk people. Just sort of lead him down off the box, take the crowbar off him, give him something else to eat, and then you'll start opening the box.
Okay, cool. Huron.
You're my favorite Huron. Don't tell me otherwise. You're my favorite.
Huron, can you... I can't believe I'm asking this, but Huron, can you make me a strength check, please?
Oh, I can roll one. 7.
Huron. In a moment that may bring shame to your ancestors, the elf is going to take the crowbar off you.
Oh no.
And open the box for you.
He jams it underneath with like a practiced hand, and then
Springhold just kind of moves your arms off it, and then just.
I loosened it.
Aye. That's what I was going to say.
All right. I
It
won't tell
wasn't.
anyone.
Hey, what's in the box? Moving swiftly on.
Okay. Springhold looks a little bit like they're trying not to laugh. Which, immediately obvious that this is apparently how Springhold deals with the wall of ears. Springhold's just like, everything is fine. If I turn this way, then everything is fucking hilarious. So they kind of they snort a little bit and they help you prise off the top. And then they immediately stop. They're not laughing anymore. There is a goblin inside. It is dead.
Yeah.
It has no ears.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like it's been hacked to death with some kind of blade.
There would be our suspected corpse.
Well, you found him. Great. So, are we looking for anything else while we're down here?
There's one particular story of note.
I mean, the only story I've ever heard is that.
Was it a character? It was like a chieftain or something that.
Yes, it was a chief. One of the chiefs of one of the smaller groups.
There is a story that some of the tribesmen told me and my friends when we were out hunting about the chieftain of one of the smaller tribes going missing. And a rumour being spread that they had been preserved as some kind of sick trophy. And given how accurate the rumours of the rest of the contents of this room were, I would be willing to bet that we will find that somewhere.
Then I suppose we keep looking.
I can, if you don't want to stay down here, I would understand. I know it looks like I'm completely unaffected.
We
fight. You get good at hitting pause on that.
Yeah, I thought I was clearly been out of the army for too long. It's fine. I'll be okay.
Let's have a look.
All right. So, can I get perception checks from anyone who is currently searching?
Yeah.
Roll one for Springhold. Yes.
It's a 19.
Ooh, nice.
Or slightly more if Stone Cunning might apply if there's anywhere that's like hidden or anything like that.
Snitch. Snitch, you are drunk, Snitch. Go home. You are very drunk. You also realized you were standing on a box that had a dead body in it. Not made you any less drunk.
Might have made him sick again. more room for wine.
Hooray!
Drunk logic.
This is going so
I'm
well.
going to do something that makes me happy. I'm going to loot his house.
No one is there to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'll go over that with you in a minute. Huron, between you and Springhold, you find that there is a false wall under the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it is fairly easily removed. It's basically just wood
like
painted to look like stone.
Covered over.
Yeah. Just like
I was just like, that doesn't look like
that's not real.
I swear that doesn't look like stone. Knocks on it. That is definitely not stone.
Oh, all right. The two of you pry it back. and inside are 3 large glass jars. Jars seems wrong. They are about 4 foot tall.
I can't remember what the word they use is, because there is a word for it.
Really, really big glass container.
Well, like the medical museum has similar.
Oh, like
I
bell
can't-
jar, is it? Am I thinking something
What was
Bell jar is just more like the shape of a
Oh.
thing.
Anyway, so you find 3 of them. They are all full of a liquid, but only one of them has a body in it. And it does look like a goblin.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I think we got it.
Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a race to get him to justice or justice to him before the town found out about this.
Yeah.
I don't particularly want to have to stop a lynching, mostly because I'm really in the mood to do a lynching,
I am very much with you.
but I do not want.
It's us that have to look. It's us that have to look at the people afterwards. That have to look after the people afterwards.
Yeah. Right. JC, any luck with the ears? JC has kind of just been sort of examining things, not actually touching, but doing that the science thing where something interesting sciencey is happening, but you know you can't touch it, and you're just like, ooh, ooh.
You get you get very close to it without touching.
And you're like, oh, what? And they go, well, they're labeled. If that helps.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm. Found an interesting one. Got one that says Drevik on it. You know Drevik, deputy? To you, Huron.
That's the guy that we were speaking to, wasn't it?
The landlord of the Tars Quarrel. Yeah.
I had a feeling we might find that here. Spoke to him earlier.
Good man, Drevik.
Yeah.
Most of the names
I only got.
Not all of them are named, but some of the names I don't know most of them. I don't want to know how they have names.
I think you know how they have names.
What is it with this town?
We've got him now, though.
Yeah, but 2 in 5 years? I only moved here 5 years ago. They needed an expert. And unfortunately, this also falls under my expertise. 2 in 5? What is wrong with this town?
It's not a question that I can answer, I'm afraid. I've only been here for 2 days.
5 years and I still don't know the answer. You, deputy? And Springhall just goes, it was perfectly normal till 5 years ago. I mean, I thought it was perfectly normal again, but I don't know.
There's fucked up people everywhere.
Wish Hemlock was here. Hemlock would know how to deal with this in a minute, you know? I guess we put people on the place to guard it, and then we bring the justices down from Magnamar to show them. Not really like there's much point in having a trial when there isn't much bloody evidence. Because, well, it's either him or Balin, really, isn't it?
Honestly, I think the part of this that's going to be the most difficult is probably going to be keeping Balin safe. And frankly, it's the only bit that I care about.
Yeah. All right.
Town can rip him apart now for all I care.
All right, you and where's your friend? Where's Deputy Oscrot? I don't even know if they know that name. Where's the other deputy?
If to be fair, if he doesn't want to be seen, you'll not see him.
Bastard.
Just be glad he's on our side, eh?
Yeah, no, fair. He's a bit of a... I've only... Oh, fine. I'll go and... I'll go and get some people to guard the house. Keep
I'm
Fischetti
gonna-
on watch.
Huron will grab the false wall and move it back into place.
I'll make sure someone... Did you already have someone picking up Balin? Oh yeah, no. That's why, yeah.
We sent Ichiro.
Cool. Right.
Let's get back up there.
All right, so back in the garrison, Nell and Mox are chilling in the kind of casual way that you chill when you've found lots of dead bits and arrested a serial killer. As you do. And
you know,
not
Nell hasn't even made the connection that the scientists did about this is the second serial killer that's fucked with this town in 5 years. And when Nell does make that, it's not going to help her theory that something is really fucking wrong with this place.
JC currently also has that theory. So, you know, you have backup there.
The issue is Huron grew up in a dwarven society. Their tales of boogeymen are from the Underdark. There are some real boogeymen in the Underdark.
This town is more of a no. It's just people.
Man, it's the real monster.
So when you guys have been waiting for like a couple of minutes after Huron has left with the Deputy Springhold and JC, and Ichiro returns with Balin. Hi.
Hi, man.
I don't know why I was sent. Why am I here?
Your boss
Is
has
everything
been.
okay? Am I in trouble?
You're not in trouble at all. Your boss has been arrested.
Oh.
At least partly because of the help that you gave Deputy Huron.
Don't say that too loudly.
We've found pretty indisputable proof that Hosk is a serial killer.
Oh.
Anyway, can you please give Ichiro your full statement on basically what you told Huron?
Am I gonna have to leave?
Town? God, no. Look, Balin, I imagine Huron's already made you this promise, but no one's gonna do shit to you for this. Not if we have anything to do with it.
Okay.
You did a good thing. You're a good person, and good people, bad things shouldn't happen to them, and we'll make sure they don't.
Thanks.
So you just tell Ichiro anything that you think will help, and we'll deal with any other problems.
All right. Do I have to go back?
To the stable?
It's kind of where I live.
Yeah. Do you want to go back? Because I think right now it's sort of a crime scene.
Is the stable okay? Because I could stay in the stable.
If you'd be all right with that, I think that we can make arrangements for that. It should be okay.
Someone needs to look after the horses. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, we can make arrangements for that.
okay, I can sleep in the hayloft. I've done that before.
As long as you're all right with it, we can sort that out for you.
Okay. I'll just. Ichiro goes. Okay, I've got another room. I'll just take you into the office and we'll quiet and safe, and there's a nice seat, and I can get you a drink. I think I still have some mead left. Would you like some mead? Balin's like, yeah, I would like some mead. And they kind of leave together. They're both very young.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of just adults, the pair of them, so they seem to be kind of being like, oh no, this is a serious responsibility.
Yeah.
When Ichiro goes, I will say to him, thank you for handling this.
That's okay. I'm sure you can pay me back at some point.
I'll find a way.
That was a joke. That was a joke. And
Wink
they
at
do
the child.
they do leave.
He's not a child. Don't make it. Oh no.
Don't make it weird.
He's not a kid. He's an adult. Oh, Jesus.
I wink at the adults.
I wink at the adult. I wink at the adult.
The adult who doesn't seem particularly interested in
That's totally fine.
this. This is just gesturing at Nell in case nobody else can tell. All right, so you're again alone in the little foyer bit. Do you want to do anything, or are you just going to chill and
Fox
wait
just
to see if
turned
someone
to
comes up?
Nell. So, no.
Yes, Mox.
You know the moon, the stars.
It's nice that they're always there.
Isn't it?
I'm just gonna like put an arm around Mox's waist and lean up against them.
Oh. Well, Mox was like immediately just like it's like you've just touched the cuddle button. Or just like
Cuddles!
It's been a really rough day.
yeah.
It was really rough, like half an hour.
Yeah, it was successful, but still rough. I mean, the whole day's been rough because this morning we were hearing an account from a goblin man who had his ear chopped off. Like,
That's true.
It's been a rough day.
The whole handful of days we've been here has been a rough day.
It's been a rough stay in Sandpoint.
That's what Mox is like sort of cuddled up like. I'm glad Aldern didn't have to see this.
After a little bit of time, middle-aged hobbit enters the garrison. Sort of waddles up to the desk where Ichiro usually sits, and there's a little bell, you know, the little bell that you get in hotels.
Before they make contact with it, Nell is just gonna go, "Can I help you?"
Hello.
Move her scarves and hair aside, show off the deputy's badge.
Ah, deputies. Excellent.
Yes, deputies.
Yes, I was looking for the sheriff, but I was told on my way here that they're no longer in town.
Out of town, yes. We're covering for Hemlock.
Well, in that case, you are the very people I needed to speak to. A little unorthodox, but I'm sure that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I hear there's been something of a ruckus at my godson's house.
Your godson being
Ray.
Hosk.
Yes.
Yes, he's been arrested.
Takes papers back out, start writing. Can I get your name, please?
Lottie. Lottie Broadbeam.
Lottie Broad.
Pronouns?
She, her. Yes. I hear that, you said I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. You said arrested?
Yes, arrested.
Arrested with
with the intention of charges being brought against him for assault, murder, desecration of corpses, hate crimes, racially motivated hate crimes at that.
My little Ray! Oh,
Resisting
he couldn't
arrest, attempting to assault an officer of the law, obstruction of the law, giving false testimony.
This is all ridiculous. It's such trumped up charges. There's no way my little Ray would do something like that.
Door the wall.
Would you like to see proof?
I don't see what proof there could be.
Mox, would you very kindly take Lottie to the stables and
Miss
ask the
Broadbeam.
officers...
Thank you.
Miss Broadbeam, yes?
Yes.
I'm saying that right? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mox, could you be very kind and take Miss Broadbeam to the stables and ask the deputies to show her the basement?
Wait, Miss Broadbeam? Do you mind?
Very well. But I think this is all ridiculous and it'll be proved wrong. Ray has never done anything wrong in his life. He's a good boy.
Perhaps wait until you see the basement to continue with that line of thought.
So, Snitch, you are in a house. You are drunk. You are mildly drunk. You are also having a very bad day, and have seen some horrible shit today. And now you're in the house of the man who did said horrible shit, and you have grabby hands, and there is no one here to stop you. What are you up to?
Loot the house.
Don't
what I
take
thought
any
you'd
of
say.
Valen's stuff.
Hands be grabbing.
Hands be doing the grabbing.
I'm certainly going to try, as long as I like recognize what Balin's stuff is. I'll leave that alone.
You suspect he has a room somewhere?
I suspect he probably doesn't have an abundance of stuff anyway.
Cool. So are you looking for anything in particular, or are people going to arrive back into the house from the basement and from the garrison to find you taking chairs away? Like what
empty fucking
with like 2 chair legs under your jumper, like clearly the rest of the chair on
It's like
show.
shoving a table backwards out of the door. Like, what? I'm not doing anything. I would say fridge, but we don't have those, so I was trying to think of something enormous and complicated.
You can't
The
prove anything.
stove.
Just anything interesting. I'll keep the crowbar. That's mine. I'm having that.
There's a bunch of tools. You can have misc tools if you want them. Remember, they have them on your sheet.
It's probably in a lovely velvet case.
They're more like hammers and shit. This is more like building shit tools rather than like.
Yeah, why not?
You find misc tools. You find little chest, tiny little chest. Maybe it sound jingles like it has money in it.
Is there money in it?
It's locked. So I will need a roll in order for you to find out if there's any money in it. That is how that works.
26.
There's money in it.
There isn't any more.
Nope. Okay, good.
There was money in it.
You now possess 25 gold. Go you. Most of it's in silver, but you find food, find fair amount of alcohol. You find 2 bedrooms upstairs. Please don't take the bedrooms. That's not an invitation to take entire bedrooms. One of them is incredibly plain and has like a straw mattress on the floor rather than an actual bed.
I'll leave that alone.
And the other one has, I mean, it's not much better, but it has a bed and curtains.
Not taking the curtains.
And under the bed is a box.
Ooh.
Exciting. It
What's
is
in the
again.
box?
It is again locked.
God, it better not have a severed head in it.
You made the reference, not me.
So the ears
20
that you couldn't fit on the wall.
22 on that one.
It's full of knives.
Oh.
They are scrupulously clean. And very, very sharp looking. Do not put your hand in the box. Do not put your hand in the box, Snitch. Do not do it.
That's a yikes from me, dog.
I don't think I want anything in this box.
So, ooh, shiny things in the
But not lock it and just put it somewhere where somebody
Fair.
will find it.
You can find, unless there's something specific you're looking for, I shall give you a generic normal stuff in somebody's house, like clothes and plates and other such things, and an inordinate amount of horseshoes.
Okay.
Many, many horseshoes.
Would
That's
be
fine.
weird if we're not
I've got
attached
my
to a
crowbar.
You don't need, okay. Huron, you come upstairs to find Snitch. Snitch, what are you doing when they come upstairs?
Probably just coming out of the bedroom.
So Snitch is actually on the stairs above you when you come out from the basement.
Huron gets to the top of the stairs and takes like a deep breath. Oh, yeah. Anything particularly pertinent?
Well, most of the horrible stuff's down in the basement, but there's a box of knives in his bedroom.
Of course there is.
Mox, you and your new best friend, otherwise known as Miss Broadbeam, who doesn't like you at all, arrive at the front door. Ta-da! you're mostly all in the same place. Nell's just got left behind. Bye, Nell.
So where will we be?
You'll be arriving in the hall.
If there's any deputies or anything outside. So
like you'll probably see Huron from where you are, just at the top of the staircase.
The Springhold, who was going to go and get deputies and hasn't yet done so. So there's currently no one guarding the door. But you can see Huron and Springhold dead ahead, basically.
Just emerged.
Deputies! I have a Miss Broadbean here, who...
Deputies!
believes...
What might we do for you
The
today?
claims the innocence of Mr. Hosk and we wish to show her evidence otherwise. So if you would please...
I hear, deputies, that you have arrested my godson on spurious, trumped-up charges.
Well,
and apparently there is some kind of evidence that I could see that would be here.
The charges of attempted assault and resisting arrest, I can attest, are not false, given that they were perpetrated against me.
Well, one would obviously resist arrest when someone was trumping up charges and planting evidence.
Huron, Springhill, perhaps a little visit to the basement might help Miss Broadbean here.
Have a wee look, aye.
Fine, I shall.
Oh, do you require some light, Miss Broadbean? It's quite dark down there.
No, I can see perfectly well, thank you.
I'm going to go and get this box of knives. He has already assumed that she is Zarni and wants nothing to do with her and just wanders off towards the bedroom.
She stomps loudly down the stairs. Very loud for someone who is quite small. But she does have big feet because she is a hobbit. Their feet are quite large. Sometimes they have armor just on their feet. She does not. So, she gets down to the bottom of the stairs. Mox, are you going with her?
Yeah.
Okay. As she gets down to the bottom of the stairs first, and you hear JC going, "What are you doing down here? Get out of my way!" She does seem to walk to like the middle of the room before she seems to spy the wall. And she kind of pauses and goes, "Planted. I knew it. I knew it. I knew there would be planted evidence. I knew you would do this. There have been rumors about my poor boy for years, and you've just taken them and run with them."
Are you suggesting this evidence was planted?
Absolutely.
I will need to take a statement from you then, Miss Broadbean. Takes out paper.
Well, do you mind if we get out of this room first?
I want the officer to show her the fucking poor pickled chieftain.
Mox doesn't know
Mox
it's
doesn't
there.
know about
Huron's not there either.
And JC is mostly just standing there looking at Miss Broadbeam, going, just very confused
We
face.
found it, lads. We found the Pathfinder equivalent of a Karen.
Okay, Miss Broadbean, if you'd like to go back upstairs then, and then you can sit you down, and then I'll take your
Very
statement.
well. Flounces. Okay, so we're gonna hand wave a little bit because we're getting on for time. So Mox takes Miss Broadbeam's statement, which is full of what you'd expect from having listened to her talk for half a second.
Mox will continue the same, like absolutely taking it as read. Like, yep, I'm just doing my job. I am like, take anything you say. I am writing down.
Springhold goes and gets people to guard the house.
Do any more Zarni types show up at the
nobody
the guard
else.
house?
A fair number of other people show up, but they're kind of when they're told that there's basically they seem to be looking for an officer, basically a watchman, and they are either given a watchman or for whatever's wrong, or like there's like an old man who says some hooligans have broken one of his windows.
Okay, old man Jenkins, we'll send somebody around to speak to you in a bit.
That sort of thing, you know. Standard small town police officer sort of thing.
Cat's caught up a tree. You don't have a cat. Then there aren't any trees.
It's fine. It's a tabaxi. It's a what?
We'll tell him to climb down then.
He's scared.
Oh god.
Once Ichiro's done taking Balin's statement, I want to talk to him real quick.
Ichiro actually comes out of the room before the others get back, and just goes, I was going to ask what Balin wants to know what the plan is. I said I'd leave him in the office until we figured it out. Figure he's safe in there.
Yeah, a lady came by, Hobbit lady, said she was Ray Hosk's godmother.
Okay. I don't know who that is. Did you get a name?
Yeah, Lottie Broadbean.
Oh.
Come on, what do you know? Give it to me.
You mean, Lady Lottie Broadbean.
Christ, alright. Who is she? What's she do? Or what's she alleged to have done?
Which one of those do you want the answer to first?
All of them. I don't care, just...
Okay, Lottie Broadbeam is, recently-ish moved to manor house in the country, near here. She spends a lot of time in town. She's a tutor, I think. Teaches people things. I don't know what, like, I learned at the school. I didn't learn from her. Neither did my siblings, you know. Dad won't pay extra for tutors, you know. But she apparently tutors people, but we're fairly certain she's some kind of loan shark.
Right. So not unlike Fine Ass, who was in here earlier.
Kinda, but she's probably much lower on the totem pole. I don't know the word totem pole. She's much lower.
I did use the idiom hit pause earlier as well.
Yeah. It's fine, we're anachronistic today. Just assume it's being translated from common. She's a bit lower in the pecking order, you know?
She's lower in the pecking order.
Oh yeah.
Ichiro, can you do me a favour?
I can try.
Do you know where Fine Ass lives?
Yes.
Send a runner. Tell him that I want to talk to him.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Where? He won't want to talk to you here.
You want to talk to me here? Okay. Fuck it, the dragon. Your sister will make sure that you don't do anything untoward.
Okay, I'm going to send 2 runners, and one of them's going to the dragon.
Good idea, actually. Good idea.
I need to warn her. He disappears off again. Huron and Snitch and Mox, do you eventually make your way back to the garrison, or are you just going straight to the dragon and have a drink and wait for this all to blow over?
You'll be at least bringing the books of knives back to the garrison as evidence.
Mox is going to drop off their notes that they've taken, and then also ask if Miss Broadway needs an escort home or to wherever she is staying.
She informs you very snippily that she is fine, thank you, and does not need your help. What do you think she is, an old lady?
Yes.
She's not that old. Well, she's not that old for a hobbit. They live quite a long time.
It's important to me that you know that it takes effort for me to remember and get her name right, because in my head she is just the town Karen.
She basically is the town Karen. She's a bit more vicious than most Karens. Most Karens aren't loan sharks.
True. That's a good point.
But Mox, by the time you finished interviewing the town Karen, there are now guards. There are now watch members on basically every entrance to this house. And they are settling in. They've brought stools. They are sitting. They're just like, no, we're just going to stay here and make sure no one goes past us. So we're going to be here for a while.
Huron will you'll have a word aside to them. Lads, it's pretty grisly down there. I would advise against peeking your head in, even if you're very curious.
Listen, mate. A lot of us, the stories were pretty, you know, and if Springhold says that you found worse than the stories, so couldn't pay me to go down there, sir.
Good man.
Bethan, what's nice ass's name? Because I've forgotten.
Jubrail.
Jubrail.
Visky.
Jubrail Visky.
It's like, pretend you're saying whiskey, but with like a thick Russian accent.
Okay.
Visky. Yeah. So what do you? Balin wants to go back to the stables. If you guys are okay with that, you know that there are
There's
guards.
guards all
There's
over
guards
the
there,
place.
so
Stables,
he's
yeah.
probably
So,
actually
yeah.
quite safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just let the guards know that Balin has obviously he can go in
This
and out.
is
as well.
this is part of your and have somebody designated to come and collect at least those of us that are at the dragon should anything occur.
Yep. Okay. They can sort that out. They seem very happy to. So far you've only seen like Springhold is the only other person with the deputy badge that you've seen. So you figure that everyone else is kind of rank and file, and
Yeah.
you guys in Springhold are kind of it in terms of people in charge. So they just jump to.
Bethan,
Yes.
instead of getting Ichiro to send a runner to the dragon, I'm just gonna go. And I'll
Okay,
tell him
cool.
what's going on.
Okay. So Huron's dropping off evidence at the garrison.
Yep.
Mox and Snitch, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go with Nell.
Okay. Mox.
I actually all I suppose Mox would want to do what I would want to know from what if Mox got anything out of Miss Borbine just for when they're trying to make talk is like, oh, so he's your godson, so like how does that work? Kind of like if she says any other names, then
She will tell you that she was good friends with his parents
mhm.
before they sadly passed away. She will explain to you that it was a disease or something that they passed away from. It was just, she says it in a way that does not make it in any way sound suspicious. Of course, you may still think it's suspicious because you think she is suspicious. But she mostly just seems to.
Mox would just think she's a little dim.
Yeah.
Because like if just one of those like really all of this and like Mox is just like, oh, poor thing, she's not very bright.
She really believes very hard in her godson.
She's simple.
Yeah,
We showed her irrefutable proof, and she still doesn't believe us. My God.
She also didn't react.
Not with like disgust or anything. She was yeah.
Oh, don't worry, that'll be in the notes that Mox is dropping off.
Okay, so do you all eventually get back to the dragon? I'm trying to get you all in the same place.
Yeah, once
As soon as he's dropped
things
off the box and maybe written a bit about what he's seen, he'll head back.
So you two were slightly.
He needs a seat and a drink.
You two are slightly later there. Snitch and Nell, when you get there, everything is just continuing as normal. Seems to be a normal day. Normal shenanigans are occurring. Are you trying to find Ameko?
Yeah.
You just summon someone and go, we need to speak to Ameko.
Yeah, I'll say to one of the servers that I need to talk to Ameko.
She'll probably be a few minutes. She's cleaning up and stuff, but I'll get her for you.
Thanks.
Off they go. And after
What time is it at this point, by the way?
It's about 2.
We've got an hour.
Getting our hard drinking in before going.
Ameko arrives pretty
Trying
quickly.
to find necromancers because this is our life.
It's like, Nell, Snitch,
Hey.
what's up?
I'm about to have a conversation with Visky. That I don't intend to get ugly, but I thought I'd better warn you just in case you need to.
In my pub.
Yeah, afraid so.
Visky.
Visky. He's not barred, is he?
No.
Look,
Usually drinks at the.
I don't want to
Usually
start
drinks at the
shit.
feed bag, but yeah, sure.
I don't want to start shit, but I need to have a conversation with him that might not be entirely pleasant, so I thought I'd give you a heads up.
I'll give you the same warning I give everyone else when they try and have business meetings in my bar. You start shit, I will finish shit.
Counting on it.
Fair? Just so you know, I'm an equal opportunity window thrower. Everybody gets thrown out the window if there is a fight. I don't care who started it.
Oh, Mako. What will the neighbors say?
Nothing they haven't said before! She kind of stops and then looks back and goes, You, Snitch.
Hmm?
I don't actually see you here very often. I'm assuming you do still live here.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Not being sick, not being seen is kind of a bag.
I gathered. You're very good at it.
Thank you.
Come and let me know if shit's going down, yeah? Feels like your friend would be
Yes.
busy.
being the shit that's going down.
Mako thinks but does not say. Cool. So you guys arrive a little bit later, maybe 5 minutes. maybe
I'll
10.
tell like Mox and Huron what I'm planning on, basically.
Huron basically he comes in and he just kind of collapses into one of the booths.
I'm probably already asleep.
Huron,
I'm gonna
you-
pop a wine.
You potentially won't want to be part of this conversation.
Best code for Huron. I'm up to some illegal shit.
It's not going to
I've
be
ever heard.
illegal. I will actually. I'll just say straight up.
Well,
My-
he doesn't know what you're doing yet.
So I'm having a talk with Visky here pretty soon.
Ah,
The one with the ass full of secrets.
Yes, the one with the secret ass. He's
it's not
according
very
to
secret.
according to Ichiro, he's higher on the pecking order than Lady Karen. What the fuck's her name? Lady Broadbeam.
Broadbeam.
Oh, so I was right. She's fucking Sally as well.
Allegedly. I'm gonna make sure that he makes sure that the Sarni leave Balin alone.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Don't do that.
intrigued. I don't know if you're intrigued as well, audience, but I'm pretty freaking intrigued.
There isn't a lot that we can offer for that, you know.
I know. But I'm gonna do what I need to do.
So, do you all stay at the same table as Nell?
It's up to you guys.
Or is Huron going off to be in a lawful booth by himself?
I'm
Like,
gonna
nah,
follow.
fuck you guys.
He's not. He understands. He's straight up like. I just don't think you've got anything to offer. He's like, I don't see this being a negotiation that you can win.
I'm gonna try.
Mox will stay because, if I remember right, Visky seemed to be at least slightly amused by Mox.
Yes, and
So there's a slight
they're
positive
insistent
thing, and then-
questions.
Yeah. Also because Mox
Oh.
generally doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And is slightly concerned because Nell doesn't seem terribly happy about whatever she's offering.
I'm not exactly
Which is
great at
okay,
making myself
it's-
scarce, but I'll go and I'll sit at another table so as to make him less uncomfortable.
Is
I'm
anyone,
I'm not exactly subtle.
is anyone removing the sleeping snitch?
Oh, Snitch asleep.
He's having a snooze from his wine. What's
I'll
what Rory
probably,
said?
I'll probably give Snitch to Huron.
She's
I'll just as I'm
Take the
getting up,
sleeping.
I'll just be like, just give him a tap in the shoulder.
I'll stay here with
Pick
you.
another booth we in.
This-
I'm gonna hide.
I'll stay here with you now. At least for a bit, just to make sure you guys get off on the right foot. You know.
I'm gonna go and
Thanks, Max.
not think and drink some alcohol.
Don't get too drunk.
alright.
We still need to meet that tracker later.
I'd have to go some to get drunk here, but I get your meaning.
All right. So after a few minutes, it's not like he makes an entrance on purpose.
But it's the way he is.
It's just what he's like. Also, there's kind of a moment in the bar that it's almost like in a Western when the piano player stops playing and everyone's like, who the fuck is that? Except they all know who the fuck that is, and they're all just going, what the fuck is he doing here? He just sort of comes to the
That's
door.
usually the case
looks
in the
around for you.
Western as well, to be fair.
The piano player hits the wrong key. Everyone turns to look.
Mox will just excitedly wave.
And he sort of goes, ah, yes, you like kind of does it. Ah, you're over there. And just makes his way between the tables, and everyone's sort of inching out of his way, like fuck off.
Donks his way there.
He's not sneaking anywhere. No.
Clap of them ass cheeks.
Yep, that's where I was going with that.
We gotta
Oh, no.
stop objectifying the very scary man.
I just assumed it was a defense mechanism.
A little bit.
It's
If
gonna
we-
take the edge off his obvious dangerousness.
If we
No
if
edges
we
on that ass. Too smooth. Too dummy thick.
okay, so oh shit. Okay, yeah, no, I just got the stuff about him up there, and I'm more frightened than I was 5 minutes ago. So he comes in and he just flows into a seat. Just floom. He goes, so you want to talk?
We arrested Ray Hosk about an hour ago.
I see. And that's what you want to talk about?
Related to that.
I don't see what that has to do with me.
I'm told that you have some sort of association with his godmother.
Dear old Lottie.
That's the lady.
Miss Broadbean.
We've spoken. Yes, we know each other.
She believes, despite us, Mox, you can attest, she believes despite us showing her evidence that is decisive proof of Ray Hosk's crimes.
Miss Broadbean has entered a statement suggesting that the evidence has been planted, and so I have lodged that in with the rest of the watch for that to be investigated.
I suspect she's going to make life incredibly difficult for us, which I'm fine with, but I also suspect she's going to make life incredibly difficult for Hosk's apprentice, Balin. And I want her to not.
You think I can somehow stop her?
Yes.
I can put in a good word, but why would I? Surely if she's about to make his life difficult, then she must believe he's involved.
I think she's going to decide that he's involved.
And if someone's planting evidence against her godson, why wouldn't she be annoyed at them? And why would I stop her from being annoyed? That seems like a perfectly sensible thing to be. Did you have a point?
Did you know that the rumours were true?
Which rumours?
The rumours that Ray Hosk is a fucking serial killer who preys on people who are not like him.
I knew he was a racist old man.
He had a wall of ears.
Did he now?
Yep.
A wall of ears.
A wall. Labelled.
Very... labelled.
Labelled.
How extraordinarily indiscreet of him.
Tragically.
Imagine that's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Well, he's
Unless,
in a
of
cell
course,
right
they
now.
was entirely planted by Balin. Of course.
Which is what I suspect Lottie's going to go for.
Well, he does live there. I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to procure a key to whatever place this was.
No,
I mean, then again, that is entirely expecting the man to have locked whatever room the wall of ears was in, which, if he was that indiscreet, he may not have done. So, this is all fascinating stuff, and I'm sure Lottie will be absolutely distraught, and I shall go and have to console her, but what am I doing here?
I'd like you to make sure that she doesn't make shit difficult for Balin.
That sounds awfully like a business proposition. Which generally involves some give and take.
What do you want?
People aren't usually quite so blunt.
It pays
What do
in
you
my business.
have that I would be interested in? I mean, you're new here, so you have no business contacts I could use. You are members of the law. So that could be useful to me. Since I do seem to spend a lot of time talking to the guard.
Totally unfairly.
Of course. Well, they seem to think that I know a lot of people, you see. So they ask me a lot of questions whenever one of them gets into the slightest spot of bother. I don't know if you're the type who would be willing to offer me such help, though. Your friend, who was doing such a terrible job of remaining inconspicuous. Over there, the dwarf. Doesn't seem like the type.
Can Mox roll bluff?
Sure.
I was actually going to say, a favour for a favour, less of an ongoing business arrangement, more of a one-off.
A favor. An unspecified favor.
Not quite unspecified, I'm not that stupid.
One can hope. What kind of favor are you offering?
Well, it's definitely a one-off.
I can take that.
It can't involve death.
Okay.
For the assist on this,
Yep.
Mhm.
Mox rolls 26. To say
How is
when
Mox bluffing?
you're on for. Oh, I don't think your dwarf friend would like that. To bluff for saying. I think says he has to know.
Interesting. So, an unspecified favor that I can call in when I need it. That doesn't involve death. It's non-specific. Can appreciate that. Do you have any other rules?
Out of character, I am very scared and can't think of any. Anyone got any suggestions?
Trying to think of anything that I could like just like not for me thinking of because Mox is naive but not stupid. So I'm just trying to think of anything like I could roll for trying diplomacy.
You're muted, Nick.
Should I try rolling
Huron
diplomacy?
was summing up my thoughts pretty much that we have no leverage to offer.
Yeah.
Was can Mox roll diplomacy for just
If he wants something
bargaining.
stolen, Snitch could probably
Sure.
do it.
what was that? Sorry.
Said if he wants something stolen, Snitch could probably do it.
Like the reason Nell is specifying no death, which basically means we're not going to cause the death of anybody. We're not. She will make this clear. She will basically say death cannot be involved in the bargain at all. We're not going to cause death. We're not going to cover up death. We're not. Nope.
What about an investigation?
Unnatural 20 for diplomacy roll.
Heck.
Got ranks is bard.
I'm not going to cover up an investigation into a murder if that's what you're asking.
No, that wasn't what I was asking.
What were you asking?
A lot of my friends, in the course of their day-to-day business, find themselves in rather difficult dilemmas, and sometimes something untoward happens to one of them. Now, they usually come to me rather than the guard. Because, well, obvious reasons, they would have to explain what they were doing. People would have to explain what had happened before my friend became an unfortunate casualty of business. That would involve death. But it would also not involve covering up anything, more looking into something while overlooking the reason it happened.
You'd be hiring us as private investigators.
Essentially.
That we could do.
Interesting.
Of course, if you want something a little bit less business-like, I can probably arrange that as well. Or well, I say business, it's my business.
I'll give you a tip. You're showing your hand. With little on the desperate side. However, you make a good point, the pair of you. You make a good, decent bargain. And all you want for the favor you are asking of me to pass on to my friends is that Balin be left alone, yes?
Mm-hmm.
That no harm through action or inaction should come to him. By any of your friends.
And harm includes stringing him up for an investigation.
It's a fair addition. I think I can manage that. I shall pass it on to my friends. Of course, it's up to them whether or not they listen.
And the only one beholden to this favour is me. You and me.
Is that so? And you're willing to let your friend take on this? To Mox. Mox, wherever you are.
Looks now. I trust now.
Very well. And I believe it's a bargain. We've made a deal.
How do you usually sail these? Shake on them?
Yes. It's a rather gentlemanly thing to do, I think. There are other ways, of course, but possibly not in public. He reaches over to shake your hand. Got a very, very firm grip.
Hmm.
He goes, well, now, I would stay for a drink, but I am generally unwelcome in this particular place.
We've got a meeting in a little while anyway, so...
Very good. No, perhaps that is too cruel. I shall be leaving then. I'll be seeing you at some point, I imagine.
No, you won't.
Hopefully. What was that, Rory?
No, you won't. There's a voice out of somewhere.
Roll me a stealth check.
I already did earlier. It was 31.
Tell your friend he's not quite as good as he thinks he is.
I'll get better.
Now, that's something I could help you with if you were interested, but that would cost you. And Jubrail sachets back out the door.
As soon as he's gone, Nell's head hits the table. She breathes very hard.
Oh, it's gonna like pat her head, bang her head.
When he gets up, Huron is going to hold up his drink towards him because he knows damn well that he noticed him.
He does give you like the little salute.
Then he'll go
Noticed
back and
snitch.
yeah.
You okay now?
Yes, it's just been a while since I had such a conversation.
Out,
It'll
Jubrail.
be okay.
I mean, it
What
probably won't, but, you know, I'll deal with whatever happens.
So
And I'm the only-
Huron sinks back into the chair he was in before. What did you give him?
A favour, not involving death, and I'm the only one beholden to him. You're off the hook. I'm the only one on it.
Doesn't mean you're alone though.
I appreciate that, but it at least means that he can't call on any of you to do anything. It has to be me.
You can call on us. Or you can call on me anyway. I won't speak for the other two.
See what happens.
We'll handle it when it happens. Or I will, or we will. Whatever happens, it'll be handled. But in return, he's going to make sure that that bitch leaves Balin alone.
About 20 seconds after you say that, some drinks are put in front of you by Mako. Figured after meeting with him, you'd need them.
Fuck yes. Nell basically hasn't drank anything alcoholic in the time that you've known her. She just throws this back.
Yeah.
Now, I think
All right.
I've got something important out of the deal you made.
What did I forget?
The
Oh,
horse
yeah.
goes down.
Yeah. Well,
So
if he doesn't, I'll deal with that too.
Okay, says
We'll deal
Mako.
with it.
I don't want to know what you were talking about.
Nope.
You really don't. It's been a rough day.
We need to go and meet a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Some fresh air will be good.
Okay. As you are standing up to leave. Sorry. As you were standing up to leave, the tavern door slams open. And very surly figure comes in. They are could be said to be stomping, perhaps striding, but there is an angry bent to their walk. And doesn't bother coming in before shouting something in a language that none of you understand. And Ameko freezes. And I'm going to be a dick. That's where we're going to leave it today.
Fuck. You enjoy that too much.
I do enjoy it far too much. But it's fun. I also got to be Jabrail for a bit, and I do love him. So I love him so much.
You could have cut the fucking tension in that conversation with a knife.
I love him.
I legit missed what you said for the. Was it the same thing as Nick said for the you didn't like what?
Yeah, did you both say the thing about Ray?
That Hoss goes down.
What did you say,
What
Rory?
did you say, Rory?
The same thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because you kind of both
didn't specify in the deal that Hoss needs to get what he deserves.
Yeah.
you did say it at exactly the same time, so we were kind of like, I'm going to assume that was the same thing. Right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my lovely players for playing again. Thank you for getting through that conversation. And now we have the racist all banged up in jail. We will figure out when you can jump back in again. Hopefully you'll have seen the last part of that. Hello everyone. And you missed all the gore. But yes, I think, do we have anything we need to talk about? I hope that at least a couple of you are here because you came on Sunday to see the stream that we hosted for our lovely friends at the Empire LARP, who had a lovely chat about politics, fantasy politics.
Fun kind.
The fun kind. The kind that generally involves being allowed to stand up and shout at people.
The fun kind.
Yes, exactly. Do we have anything to plug today? I mean, our links are down below as they usually are. Please come and follow us and subscribe to us and like us and watch other things that we do. You can find some of us on TikTok and some on other things in Twitch. You can get in contact with us in the various ways that are down there. I'm assuming they're down there and I'm not just pointing at random shit. Cat's in charge of the layout for Twitch. I don't actually know where anything is.
The links to our socials are down below, and the links to our recommended channels are down below.
Yes, please go and watch our friends as well. They're all very lovely.
One of them's me.
What? That sounds fake.
Patreon sorted?
Yes, we do. We do have a Patreon. I think the link to that is down there as well. Yes, good, excellent. We have a Patreon. Please come along.
I thought you were linking that.
Oh, okay, it's not down there, but it will be. It's okay, we will get this sorted.
Can't access it though.
There is admin that needs doing.
We'll fix that.
We will fix it. We are good at this. Please bear with us as this is our first time doing this.
Also, please remember the wonky nature of us as players.
We're very wonky. Yes, we are. We're fine. We're absolutely fine and fit and healthy and absolutely fine.
You just don't listen too hard when I stand up.
Yeah, and don't look at the fact that at least 3 of us walk using mobility aids. We are functioning, mobile, physically fit people, and we're off to go and play cricket or whatever physically healthy people do. I don't know what they do. What do they do with their lives? Now, go for a run. Let's go for a run.
They complain about being in pain a lot less than we do, I think.
Sounds boring.
That does take up a lot of my time.
So, I hope you will be back to join us to discover what has got Ameko so spooked, and where do those tracks really go, and what on earth is Jabrail up to, and is it shenanigans? It's probably shenanigans. I can spoiler that for you now.
Shenanigans are afoot.
Shenanigans are always afoot with Jabrail. But yes, and I hope you have enjoyed yourselves, and if you've got nothing else to plug, then I guess that's good night from us, and we can all go to bed and have a good snooze. Clearly we need it.
Yeah.
Cat yawning away at the end there. Alright, so we will see you later. Bye everyone, thank you for watching. Bye. We love you. We love you all.